My name is Dave.
My name is Joe.
My name is Aaron.
And we are the Boston Sports Nerds. Tune into the Boston Sports Nerds podcast each episode for our weekly segments.
Not mad at it.
Balk Talk.
Social media second.
Closing time.
And everything Boston sports.
Hold up.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with it.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds podcast, the B.S.N Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have nothing left in the tank. Let's go. Welcome back to the Boston Sports Nerds podcast, the B.S. Nerd Show. This is the 35th episode, and I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, one being the co-host of WECP. His name is
Aaron.
And I'm also joined by the host of Joe's Fantasy Field Goal. His name is
Ben.
Ben. There we go. New guy, Ben.
No. It's Joe's Fantasy Field Goal.
Joe's
Fantasy
Fantasy Field Goal brought to you by Ben.
Hosted by Ben.
That would have been a great shtick. I would have loved that. That would have been good.
Hi, I'm Ben Field Goal.
I'm Ben Field Goal. This is Joe's Fantasy Field Goal. Joe's Fantasy is about Ben Field Goal.
Yeah.
And that's it. So we have a fucking dynamic week of sports news, really. Tuesday was crazy. Like, it just fucking blew up. So we'll dive right into that. Kyrie Irving is now a member of the Boston Celtics via a pretty heavy-weighted trade given up by the Boston Celtics. But what do you guys think? Before I give my opinion, I mean, I did the Instagram video, but I've kind of thought about this a little more since then. That was like an emergency statement. Like, I felt like we had to comment on it right then. So
You held an emergency press conference?
Emergency press conference. I almost did an emergency Dave Speaks, but I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot in a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot of podcasts in 1 week. So I figured I'd just keep it to Instagram, keep it to IG there.
I am firmly in the camp that if you don't like the trade, you are a buffoon.
What do you think of the premise that
Buffoonery.
the Celtics
That's
gave
what I think
up?
it is.
What do you think?
Buffoonery, Dave.
Jesus Christ. What do you think of the premise that the Celtics gave up too much for a guy that had to leave town?
If you don't give up what they don't want, they'll just trade him somewhere else.
Okay.
It's not like
To
the
go off
Celtics
of what you're
are
saying,
the only team in town that want Kyrie Irving.
literally, one of the reports, soon as the trade was over and everybody's reacting, one way or the other about it, there's reports out there that the fucking Warriors were in talks.
That would have been chaos.
But they're saying their
It would have been like
possibility.
Klay Thompson.
It would. That's
Yeah, right,
the major piece that would have gone with it. Better player than Klay Thompson?
I don't
Kyrie?
know if that fit. Like, why?
No,
would
I
the
know.
Warriors do
Steph
that?
would probably go to
Steph
the two.
would go to the two.
Right. Even though Kyrie's taller.
Yeah, but Clay's
Steph would
better.
be- Steph's a
Clay's way
shooter.
better on defense.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what did they didn't? To me, like, yes, they gave up a lot technically, but
What
did
they give up?
No, you didn't.
What did they give
No, you
up?
didn't, because you already signed Gordon Hayward. So that takes away the fucking Jay Crowder argument all
But you still
fucking
have
day.
Jay Crowder on a super team-friendly contract.
Yeah, but you
I'm
can't-
playing devil's advocate here, but
I
I'm
understand
interested,
that.
I'm interested to see what.
But that's my point of view is get fucking rid of him, because there
Gordon
were
Hayward
times
is not going to help you defensively like Jay Crowder will.
No, but you still have the defensive guards that you still have one good defensive guard. I think Jaylen Brown is not a bad defensive player.
Nope, you're right.
So you
you
already
don't know
have
what
those
Tatum
guys.
is yet.
right, we don't know what
Tatum's not really a sure thing. And that's the same thing. Okay, so the people that were like at a certain point when they try to get back at me and go, well, IT and I kind of shut that down. Well, he'll be a free agent next year. Crowder, well, you already signed Hayward. Then they go Zizic. And I'm like, he hasn't played a fucking thing.
Right.
Neither has Tatum, but this guy hasn't played a fucking thing either.
Right.
In the Brooklyn pick,
Which we've been talking about.
Have you
right.
looked at fucking Brooklyn's roster? Granted, they don't have no power forwards except for like one.
One power forward, which is wildly confusing to me. They have two centers and one power forward on their roster of 16 people.
They're small ball.
Small
Focus.
business.
Small ball focus.
Now, the Nets pick is... I didn't get to dive into that on the Instagram video. The Nets pick is... this is the perfect time to trade it. Because everyone assumes the Nets are going to blow, right? Because the Nets have just sucked for the past 4 years. the Nets have made some major low-key moves. Like, they're not good. I don't think they're a good team, but I don't think they're the worst team in the league anymore.
I don't think they're a top 4 lottery pick.
I don't think so either. I think we talked the other day. I think it's somewhere between 8 and 12. And what does 8 and 12 get you in an NBA draft? Like, the value on that pick is so much less than top 4.
And if you held on
to
it,
to flip the 10th pick in the
and
draft,
if you try to
won't
hold
get
on,
near to
yeah,
it.
but no, if you hold on to it and that happens,
Right.
you're sitting on that fucking pick, and now you have.
If it gets to be like the All-Star game and the Nets are competing for like 9th, 8th seed in the East, right? Which is not unfathomable because the East is so bad. Like, I think we talked before, like, can you guarantee me that there's 8 teams better than the Nets right now in the East? Like, you can do 5. You know, you could say Wizards, Bucks, Celtics, Cavs.
I would say
Heat.
Orlando's really bad.
Orlando's really bad. The Knicks, if they get rid of Carmelo, are going to be really bad.
Bobcats are bad.
Bobcats
Oh,
are bad.
well,
They'll be
Hornets,
better than
they'll be
Hornets,
better.
sorry. They'll be better than the
They'll be
Nets.
better than they were last year, and probably better than they have more stars than the Nets.
The Hawks are probably better than
The Hawks are not anymore. They lost Howard and Millsap. I don't know if that 5 is better than the 5 for the Nets. So like they could be the 8th seed. Like, and it's not
Or
totally
the odd man
unbelievable.
out of the playoffs.
Right,
But
yeah.
it's not a bad look for them. They've gotten
Here's
better.
But if you're waiting for the trade deadline and the Nets are in 9th seed in the East,
Yeah, now
you know
that
what I mean?
pick's not worth
So
shit.
they can be like, wait a minute, that might be a non-lottery pick. Like, that could be the 16th, 17th pick in the draft. Fuck that. This is the perfect time to trade that pick. Now, my problem is that a lot of people are saying that the Celtics gave up too much for a guy that doesn't want to be where he is. The Celtics gave up exactly what you give up for a guy that's a top 10 player in the NBA who's in his prime at 25 years
He's
old.
25 years old.
All right, this is the only question I have. Do you think Kyrie Irving, this is what I want Celtics fans to ask themselves. Do you think Kyrie Irving is a better player than Isaiah Thomas is?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
upgraded your point guard.
Right. I don't think the difference is that much.
If you look at
But
the,
I think, yes.
if you look at
I
their
think it's
stats last year, they're comparable.
Right.
So you really
Right.
didn't lose a.
And Isaiah played out of his head last year.
Yeah,
Like, he played
you
totally
expect
overachieved
Isaiah to
last
do
year.
that again?
You traded Isaiah Thomas,
Yep.
who's not as good as Kyrie Irving, away.
Had a better year, but not as good of a player.
Barely a better year.
Jay Crowder, who has only even been relevant on your team. So now all of a sudden it's like Jay Crowder's this all pro, all NBA first team, third team
Right.
player his whole career. No, he was irrelevant until he came to the Celtics, and then now he was good.
Right.
So he's gone now.
His value is
And-
still good.
And his role was already being diminished by due to your draft picks that you had made. So Danny was working towards this
Right.
already.
Let alone, like you said, Gordon Hayward. So you've replaced that.
Yeah.
And the big forgotten here is Marcus Morris.
Yeah.
Marcus Morris he's as physical of a defender as Jay Crowder.
They set a date.
For the
their-
August. Yeah, for the court
end of
date.
August.
Yeah. So Marcus Morris is going to bring you that tough guy mentality or physical ability that Jay Crowder brought you.
Yeah.
That's already replaced.
So you traded Jay Crowder, a player who was irrelevant beforehand. Now he's playing good, but his role was diminished within the Celtics already. You traded him away. He's really just he's probably like a 14-point scorer who plays tough defense, right?
13.9.
There, all right.
Yes. Good guess.
You traded away a big man who is admittedly by everyone involved a project.
Right.
No one knows what he's going to be. He's a complete unknown. And another complete unknown
Right.
and a pick.
For a top 10, 4-time All-Star, 1-time champion, 3 straight
is
finals player.
25 years old and under contract for 2 years.
Right.
You essentially
Isaiah Thomas was going to... This was his last
gonna
year under
leave.
contract. He's going to be 30 years old.
financially he was going to leave. He was going to get paid by somebody.
And he was on
Probably,
he
yeah.
was on record saying, I deserve a max
Back up the
contract.
Brinks truck. I mean, he even had the Brinks truck sandals that he was wearing to Celtics practices.
Well,
Yeah.
Danny Ainge commented about it.
Yeah.
So to be
How
honest,
much did those Brinks truck sandals cost?
Danny Ainge knew the writing was on the wall,
Right.
and started planning ahead.
I'm sorry, but I do not want to give a max contract to a 30-year-old 5'6" point guard who can't play defense.
Right.
And in his very best season ever,
Right. You know what I
couldn't get it done.
You know, yeah, right, and that's true. And I don't put all that on him.
No,
you know
but
what I mean, but because very few guys can do it all alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and he's not as good of a passer as Kyrie Irving is.
and the ball handles for Kyrie. I mean, he puts people on skates. I cannot wait to watch him.
And
work
he's a
out
guy
there.
who performs in the postseason.
Right, very clutch.
And that is still up in the air. Even I mean, last year Isaiah looked good until he hurt his hip in
Right.
some games, and in some games he didn't.
Right.
And I know he was dealing with a lot of shit last year, but the
Right.
year before that,
He wasn't great in that postseason.
he wasn't great. He
true.
can get shut down by bigger guards. It's happened a lot.
John Wall's not going to back Kyrie Irving.
No.
And
No.
look over him and just.
Granted, Kyrie
never
Irving
wins.
is not winning all
He's not a good defensive player.
NBA
He's not a good defensive player, right.
defensive
Right.
honors.
Right.
But
Yeah, he's not going to.
I would say he's still a slight upgrade defensively.
just based on the fact that he's equal height to
Yeah.
the bigger point guards in the league. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's not a good defender, but also
He can
was on
pick and roll.
He was on a team that didn't require good defense from him, and Brad Stevens' defensive system might work for Kyrie. We don't
and
know.
he can switch off on a pick and roll and not be a complete and utter
Right.
mismatch domination
Right, that's true.
that Isaiah Thomas is.
The other thing I've taken away from this, and I keep seeing this, and it does resonate with me, when you think of the KG and Paul Pierce trade,
Yeah,
what they've turned that into.
right.
They've turned that into Jaylen Brown,
Yep,
Jason Tatum,
Yep.
Kyrie Irving,
yep,
a high pick with their LA or Sacramento's pick.
yeah.
You've turned it into that.
Right, right.
You've taken two aging players and converted it into that.
See, this
Right.
is the thing.
And Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
I was
Oh no,
on,
that was their pick. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that was their own pick. That was their own pick.
I was on record earlier saying you're gonna have to lose a trade.
Right, right.
Danny Ainge managed to do it without losing. Like I don't think he
lost the
lost.
deal.
I
Right.
think this is actually one of those rare trades where both teams won.
Right.
Yeah, and then
I agree with that.
When I
yeah.
had people telling me like, "Oh, we gave up too much. We gave up too much."
I don't think there has to be a winner and a loser.
But I said to him, I was like, "You have to understand that the Celtics look at it as we gained our point guard for the next 2 years. He's a top 10 player.
Right.
You gave up a guy that was a great scorer, not a great point guard.
Mm-hmm.
You gave up a wing guy, an unproven player, and a pick.
Right.
Yeah, but they're also trying to build for the future as well because they know
LeBron's
after
leaving.
this year LeBron's gone anyway.
so
So
they
they want
have
to
a-
win something, and so do the Celtics. So what's
and it's
wrong with
it's
that?
a great deal because Thomas and LeBron might both not be on the Cavs next year.
Yeah,
And
it's a lot of cap space.
Jay
next
Crowder
year.
is a good piece. I think I got on him a lot early in the podcast, like in our old podcasting days, but I always did say, or at least I know I came back when I said that if his role was less, I'd like him more. I don't like him to have to play 28, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? If he was doing 15
Oh
minutes
yeah,
a game,
no,
I would
him
like
on the
him more.
Cavs right now is
It's
not a
perfect
bad
fit.
piece.
It's a perfect fit for him because it's they need depth, or they needed depth in that finals. And he's a tough defender that can come in and kind of give Draymond Green the business, or he can give and not that he's going to.
No, he works for the Cavs right now. But if you're Danny Ainge and you're playing the future game, you gave up nothing that makes the Cavs like super threat worthy
right.
in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
Also,
It's going to destroy him because they're not going to be able to
They-
afford. If they're going to if they let go of LeBron, they're going to sign Isaiah
Yeah.
to a max deal, and then all of a sudden it's Kyrie Irving versus Isaiah Thomas in the Eastern Conference Finals, and you're on the right side of that coin. You know what I mean? Like,
Because
so-
the Cavs without LeBron, an Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder led team is not better than what
we
this
saw
Celtic.
that.
Yeah,
We've seen that.
right.
Come on.
No, but even
We had that.
yeah, but that's not even. That was an Isaiah Thomas and Al Horford led team. Jay
Right.
Crowder was a bit piece. He would be the second guy on Cleveland.
Maybe.
Without
Yeah,
LeBron.
if
Love.
Love does.
Love,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah, right.
Love's already said, like,
Yeah,
he didn't
turned
like
down-
it being there.
Yeah, he turned down a $170 million extension.
Yeah, so I mean, what
That's what's going on there.
I think you gave up what looks like a lot on the front, but it doesn't actually affect. It doesn't make Cleveland like this perennial contender.
Right.
It just helps them in the future.
And it's a very,
little bit.
very important, smart detail by Danny to give up the Brooklyn one because, like I said,
Yeah.
the West is loaded. The Lakers might be better than we think. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, if Ball and Randall and
but
those
if
guys
they
all
are,
work,
then it becomes the Kings.
then it becomes the Kings the next year, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you either get 2 through 5, so you're guaranteeing yourself at worst a top 5 pick, or you get the Kings the following year. And are the Kings ever going to be good? You know, because Vince Carter's on a 1-year deal down there. Everyone's on a 1-year deal down there. They're like making some weird run at it, kinda, and then what? And then what are they going to do? I mean, like dissolve probably because that franchise sucks.
Everyone's pissed off because they traded Isaiah Thomas after this year, after the year he just had.
Right. Of course, yeah.
If they would have made the trade last year,
if they made it at the trade deadline this year, people would have loved it.
yeah,
Yes, I think a lot of people, and I have friends that are like literally just like,
it's because Isaiah Thomas is a likable guy. That's why.
yes,
Like, he played while his sister died,
he's a
like that
likable.
playoff
Yes,
run,
I was going
right.
to say it's all about heartstrings with him. I respect him. What he did last season, never going to forget it.
Right.
Isaiah, you're gonna always get free beers when you come to. Every time you
Yeah,
walk into a
I
restaurant,
don't
you'll
think
never pay
anyone
for a
hates
meal.
Isaiah Thomas.
It's nothing about Isaiah.
Right.
To be honest, that's the thing that everybody's trying to make it about. It's not about Isaiah.
Right.
It's about the Celtics looking towards the future.
And
And
the thing is,
Isaiah
you
Thomas is leaving after this year. Why not get something that's going to be there for more than 1 year?
Excuse me, another important detail is, too, that Isaiah Thomas, like you said, he's going to be 30. Do you want to give a max deal to that guy? No. We all vote no,
25.
right? We all vote no, right?
Kyrie's going to be
So in
26,
in
27.
2 years, Kyrie's contract's going to be up because he has a player option for a third that he's going to decline because he can make more money than the 20, whatever it's worth. So he's going to decline that option. Someone said that he's already felt like this is the right place for me, like because he's top dog on a team full of really good players. But he's not or he is the best player on there. So this is what he wanted. He wanted to lead a team forward with him being Batman, and he wanted a bunch of Robins. Of course, like that's what everyone wants. I don't want to go to a team that sucks. You know what I mean? Like that's no fun either. But at 27, and if you have Al Horford on it last year or two, Gordon Hayward with 2-3 years left, and all of a sudden you say maybe we can flip Horford, or we let him run out and then we have max money again, whatever. Then you pay. I would pay 27-year-old Kyrie Irving 5 years, $200 million, whatever, to go forward with him because he's a top 10 fucking NBA player, around 10. You know what I mean? Like he pushes the 10th level or whatever of players, but that's still better.
Rank
than
your
Isaiah.
point guards though.
He's probably second.
Yeah.
It's Russell Westbrook, I would say, just because he's asked to do more, but he's proven that he can
Steph
do
Curry.
more. I don't think he's a great point guard.
Harden?
He's a great shooter.
Harden's it.
Harden's a 2.
I mean, I'm just saying because
you're right. Yeah.
he
He's
led
top
the league
5.
in assists, didn't he?
There's no way Kyrie Irving's not top 5.
I have Kyrie Irving second. I think in pure point guard ability.
Yeah.
I think that Kyrie Irving second.
I mean, maybe not in his prime, but I would take him over. Like everybody tries to say, Chris Paul.
I'd take him over Irving more than Paul right now.
Yeah.
Chris Paul in New Orleans, I'll take Chris Paul for sure because he was the top 2 point guard back then. But Russell Westbrook reminds me like Jason Kidd, and I don't know, a good comparison for Steph Curry. He's a great scorer. He can do it all, and he is a really good point guard. But for some reason, I just don't view him as one. You know what I mean? Like because he's such a spot up shooter, and it's just so his game is so different. He doesn't strike me as a pure point guard
as more of a distributor and not as the best shooter on the team.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like most point guards aren't your leading scorer, other than like a la Russell Westbrook, James Harden, whatever. But and the league is changing towards that. Like ball dominating point guards is in I should say shot dominating point guards is becoming the thing. But Kyrie also does that really well.
Is this not
like
like
25 points a game last year
Kyrie
with
Irving,
LeBron James on his team?
If you're Kyrie Irving, is this not the best case scenario from what you said?
If you had to leave the Cavs,
from when you came out and said I want to be gone.
Right.
This is the best case. Like I literally went like this, one back.
Right.
It's like you could have gone.
You might have just went lateral, because I think the Celtics now can go 7 with the Cavs.
Yeah. Because they can abuse Isaiah Thomas.
Well, I was going to say, not even that. Say Isaiah Thomas, his hip's still a problem.
Right.
Your fucking point guard.
That was the other thing. He's coming off surgery.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Kyrie still has his knee issues too.
Yeah.
So that's the other issue. You're trading problem for possible.
Did Isaiah
problem.
Thomas get surgery?
No, he never went. But that's the problem. Is that Brad Stevens was just on Chris Mannix's podcast, The Vertical, and said that in September, Isaiah Thomas had to go get a scan because they weren't really sure if he was gonna be ready. So in September, like, we're gonna look at this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All day, all summer, it was sort of like, no, it should be good, should be good. He should be all right. And then Danny makes the comment that, yeah, we might have to start off without him. And it was like, and now did he mean because I'm trading him, or was he referring to the injury? But I don't know.
In the Cavs, they have Rose that has fucking gumballs for knees.
Yeah, really. Yeah,
he's not going to hold up a whole season.
No.
They have a lot of issues when it comes to their point guard, and I don't care. Like, okay, so is J.R. Smith your 2 guard?
2, he's their 2, yeah.
And then Crowder's your 3?
No, the Crowder's not going to start for him, I don't think.
Well, then who's going to be your 3?
LeBron.
I thought he's your power forward.
No, Kevin Love's your power forward.
Listen, if you're
Tristan
LeBron
Thompson's your
James, why would you not go to the GM and say, listen, I think best case scenario for everyone would be if you trade me.
Right.
No, he would never do that.
But why?
He wants to leave anyway.
Yeah,
and
no,
you
my
would avoid another decision like Cleveland hates you, you're abandoning us if you get traded.
Okay, so to play off that, him bitching and complaining about Boston fans burning Isaiah's jerseys, I think it's stupid. Totally fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm. I also don't 100% even think that like you're taking like a 3% like troll portion of the fan base.
It's a wildly minority.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody hates Isaiah.
Yeah,
Nobody really hates Isaiah.
How can you be mad that your GM traded away someone?
Right.
It's not like Isaiah sat down at some YMCA in Connecticut and said, "I'm taking my talents to
I'd be
Cleveland."
interested to see what the caption was for that video of the guy burning his jersey. Was it "Fuck you, Danny Ainge, I'm never buying a Celtics jersey again"? And it just so happened to be an Isaiah one, or was it?
It looked like a Kmart. I just got this off the discount rack. It's not even a real jersey.
Yeah, he didn't want to burn his real Isaiah jersey.
If he's trying to send a message to Danny, like, how could you do this? And then it was he's just burning a Celtics jersey, but it was Isaiah's. You know what I mean? Then whatever. But yeah, that's really dumb.
To try and make it seem like all Boston's pissed off at Isaiah because he got traded is some ridiculous fucking
It's the
narrative.
same thing. I mean, I like that LeBron commented on the Gordon Hayward thing, like people burning his jerseys out there too. And he's like, dude, the guy worked himself up to be an all-star and to do what's best for his life, and he did. Like, what are we doing? Why are we burning everybody's jerseys? Like, what the hell?
But what I was saying about LeBron, if you convince the GM to trade you, it's a win-win. The GM gets a piece back for a guy who's leaving anyway.
Yeah,
probably a lot of
but
and LeBron can play this narrative like, oh, I didn't leave.
Right.
They traded
me. Right?
Yeah, but the other part of that is LeBron's not going to want to go to a team that has nothing.
No. He has a no-trade clause.
Yeah, but if they trade away all their fucking players to get LeBron,
it is
now
like
he's
career
going in there
for Dan Gilbert, because you would have to take a deal that you know you're losing because LeBron
but
wouldn't wait for the deal.
You're not losing because you're getting something. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, but it will matter because people will say we could have LeBron this year.
Why didn't you just
we
pay
could have won
LeBron?
a championship this year?
Yeah.
And you're gonna mail out the best player in the world right now? Like of all, and for
if you trade him during the season or the beginning of the season,
Marcin Gortat or whatever.
I guess if you really think you could, if they think they could win this year with this cast, then
right. I mean, you would think that they are probably going to compete for it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they're probably still the favorites to win the East. I think the Celtics are pushing really, really hard on that doorway, but the Cavs are the favorites to win the East. And then all you need is a Steph Curry injury. Kevin Durant injury, you know what I mean? You can win a championship.
If you're a Cleveland fan and you're all for the win right now,
right? That's a tough
go ahead. But it's gonna be a dumpster fire. That team is going to be a dumpster fire next.
It's gonna be bad.
Not this season, but the season after that.
I 100% agree with you.
It's gonna they're not gonna go like, oh no, we'll be the 6th seed in the East. No, you're going to be a dumpster fire.
Right, they're going to get the number 1 pick again.
Yeah,
it's going to start another train of number 1 picks. So I mean, I love the deal. I think that it like you said, it's one of the rare deals where everybody wins. Like everyone
no
got
loser.
better.
Compare, even if you don't want to, you want to play all heartstrings, just look at their fucking stats.
Right.
Look at their fucking stats. You're not losing a goddamn thing.
Right. And you're losing 3.7 points per game. You're gaining half a rebound, and you're losing 1/10 of an assist a game based on last
And that's
year.
just on them. And then
And
if
Isaiah
you look,
Thomas played a wildly top 5 MVP candidate year, which he never has before. He was a perennial. He'd be a pretty good 6th man of the year candidate.
Yeah.
That's what he was in Phoenix. That's what he was in Sacramento. Man, this guy can make a run at 6th man of the year. And
That's
then
what he
gets
was when he came to Boston.
Right. He never made an All-Star game before Boston. He's made 2 in a row. Kyrie Irving did make 2 All-Star games prior to LeBron James coming to town. So,
yeah. And all the people that are jumping on the fucking Crowder bandwagon,
Right.
that, oh my
See,
God,
I'm
he
gonna
should
miss
not.
Crowder. I am going to
But
miss
look
Crowder.
at their, literally, one more game. That's the only difference in last season.
Right.
Look at their stats.
Between Crowder and Hayward.
Yes.
Right. Oh,
You
of course.
gain
Hayward's
points.
a much better player.
You
Right,
gain
yeah.
points. You lose 0.4 rebounds.
Yeah.
You gain, 1.5 assists.
Yeah.
And then your field goal percentage is slightly better. They're
It
friggin'
blows my mind that they shot the exact same 3-point percentage, Jay Crowder and Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
Both 39.8%, which is good. That's really good. I'm surprised Jay Crowder shot that. But
Yeah, but he only averaged 13 points a game.
right,
So
right. Yeah, he only took three.
he
threes
took
a game.
3 or 4 shots a game.
Right. So I'm going to miss Jay Crowder. I think he's a valuable piece at $6 million a year. I think he's an incredible value.
Not to
and he's
mention
a good
you-
guy to have on your roster.
And it still frees up cap space.
It does.
So you don't have to re-sign Isaiah, and
Mm-hmm.
you freed up a little bit more cap room moving Jay Crowder out.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's opportunity for you to kick some money to keep Marcus Smart on the squad,
Right. Right.
and you won't have to deal with all that kind of stuff.
And if Kyrie sees how the team is, and that say they do make it to the finals this year, the NBA finals,
Right.
why wouldn't he stay?
Of course, I think he absolutely will. I think this is the dream scenario. Like you said, is there a better place for him to go? I think not only because the level of talent and how good the team is, and he's dealing with, I guess the 4th best coach in the NBA, according to the Coach of the Year finalist, but one of the better coaches.
Once again, he could have gone to Miami.
Right,
Brooklyn-
could've went to Miami.
And this is the thing. I think everyone balks at if the Brooklyn pick's not involved in this deal, you think anyone has even a problem with it?
It's either not you can't give up Crowder and the pick because it's too much value.
Yeah.
So it's got to be either one or the other. You do Isaiah in the pick, and then we keep Crowder and Zizic,
So
or
you don't want anyone else. As a Celtics fan, if you aren't, what do you think they got the picks for?
right.
This is what they got
This
the
is it,
picks
yeah, right.
for.
And he still has a plethora of picks.
Yeah,
To do something.
this is what I
like-
was trying to say
Okay, right.
a long time ago. Is you're not mortgaging your future. You still have a bunch of picks.
Right. Now, when we
Also-
were talking during that show, that was you trade this one, that one, this one, that one. I don't want to trade all of them.
You
know what I
only
mean?
traded one.
This one. That's why I love this deal.
Yeah.
If they gave up the LA pick and the Brooklyn one, I'd be like, I don't love
You
it.
might have
I don't love that.
might have a Jay Crowder on your roster right now,
Yeah, with Jason Tatum.
or
Jaylen Brown,
or Jalen
Marcus
Brown.
Morris, or Marcus Morris.
Yeah, so you have someone who can replace Jay Crowder already,
Right.
Yeah.
somewhere on your roster. Not even counting Gordon Hayward. I'm
Right.
saying just
Yeah. You have
Jalen
the guy that
Brown
would've filled-
or
right. Yeah.
or Jason Tatum. You could have
Right.
It's
think-
not like
I
Jay
really think
Crowder
it's gonna
was
be
an
Marcus-
all-star.
Right.
You could probably get similar production out of a second-year player like Jalen Brown,
Right.
and it wouldn't be shocked by
I think in 10 months from now, I think a lot of people, as long as Marcus Morris isn't in prison, we're going to feel the way we do about Jay Crowder about Marcus Morris.
it. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to love his scrappiness. You know what I mean? And I think he's a Marcus Smart type, a Jay Crowder type, and an Avery Bradley type where he was a digger and he got, he's a Dustin Pedroia type where people are going to like him because he gets dirty, he plays hard. And the whole tweet about, I guarantee as long as I'm not seriously injured, I'm going to play in all 82 games this year. Like that kind of guy is like the whole Boston pride, Celtics pride type
And
thing.
not only that, so if the Brooklyn pick is really bad,
Yeah.
let's say it's the number 4 pick.
Right.
Anthony Bennett was a number 1 draft pick.
Right.
Like
Yeah, no guarantees, right?
Darko Milicic
right.
was his
Those
number
people
1
exist.
draft pick.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, the big thing I took away from this fucking trade is 7-Eleven's back.
I was going to say that. God damn it. You took my fucking joke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how I was going to wrap. I was going to wrap up with that fucking joke. 7-Eleven is back.
I don't know if it has the same thing
Pizzazz?
to it.
No.
Because those were like two young,
Those are
like
two,
one's a sophomore, one's a rookie,
And they love
and
each
this
other.
is like Kyrie Irving,
Yeah.
so it's not really like the
Yeah,
same dynamic. Like
but-
Jaylen Brown and Kyrie Irving.
But Jaylen Brown is 20.
Right.
Kyrie's 25. It's not that
Yeah,
big
it's
of a
not-
difference.
it's not
One
grand
could have been
final.
a senior
No,
and one
but-
could have been a freshman
yeah,
in college.
but these
to
were
be
like
fair.
the last two draft picks were 7
Right.
and 11.
No, it would have made sense.
Right. I still
But
think you can do.
That's why I'm still mad at fucking Tatum for changing his number. I don't care that you wore 0 in college.
But-
That's bullshit.
Jaylen Brown just has to go to 07, then you can have 00711.
I balk at that too. I balk at that.
00711.
I don't
Everyone's
want
happy.
that.
I don't want that
Everyone's
at all.
happy. Everybody
But
wins.
if we're watching the season and we notice there's some kind of weird Kyrie Jaylen Brown connection where
Right.
it's like Kyrie's constantly setting Jaylen Brown up for points,
Right.
I'm all for bringing 7-11 out.
Al Horford's going to be setting up screens for Kyrie and be like, can I get $42 on phone? And that's the thing, too. I think Kyrie with average Al is going to be really good. Average Al might lead the NBA in assists from a big man, and I think he's going to be close to breaking that record. I don't know what it is.
Well, Al Horford is a good passer from down low. Gordon Hayward is actually a good passer.
Sneaky good passer, yep.
From the small forward shooting guard position.
Yeah.
I know technically, I think when you were reading those stats, Isaiah Thomas had
More assists.
more assists
Yep,
by like
true.
a point one or something like that.
0.1, yep.
But Kyrie Irving is a better passer than Isaiah Thomas.
He has more
is.
passing skill, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
The offense is going to run through
it's going to run.
Kyrie.
The
So
offense
that's
is going
why.
to just run. It's
Yeah.
going to run.
I think the offense is going to run through Kyrie, but I think that Al Horford is going to lead the team in assists.
you're going to see
might.
a lot of ball movement.
hey,
I think this offense is
Backdoor
going
cuts all
to
day.
just
as long as fucking Avery Bradley, which isn't on the team anymore, so as long as Jaylen Brown doesn't lead the team in rebounds,
Right.
I'm okay.
Right, and he's actually a really good rebounder
That's
for
actually
his size.
the one thing I know he was the piece we least talked about in what they traded away.
Zizic.
But the fact that a team that lacks big men
Gave away the
traded
biggest
away
man. Right.
a big man
Right.
is like the one thing I was like, you couldn't have done this deal without trading
Yeah,
a
like,
Zizic.
Zizic, you
Like
had to do
Yeah, but
that.
here's
he
the
had to
thing.
be in the trade.
That's the one thing I said to you, and you kind of, I mean, you did bring up a point about it, but
I mean, he's never
think-
played an NBA
I think he
game.
could be cut.
He could be cut.
Like one of those deals where they threw him in just to make the money work, and then they're like,
Right.
we
They
don't
could
need
buy
him.
him out.
We don't
I
need
think
him.
and I said to Aaron on the phone, I think that their very obvious lack of depth in the finals last year
Yeah.
proves why he needs Zizic. Because if Tristan Thompson's in foul trouble and Kevin Love's resting, who's big for you?
Oh, on
You know
Cleveland,
what I mean?
you mean? Yeah.
On Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
So if one guy's in trouble and one guy just needs to breathe, you know what I mean? Like he needs a minute. Who's their big guy?
Zizic.
It's going to be Zizic. And before that, who was their big guy?
They couldn't have traded like one of those stash pieces.
I know,
like
Nader or something,
Kabusele or
Yabusele or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
I have them over there too.
Yeah, I mean, they do. Their roster's huge. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but they do have some bigs that. I mean, Aaron Bynes is going to be on the team, but like Daniel Theis, the guy from Germany,
yeah.
he could have gone. He's 6'9".
Oh, you know what though? I forgot they have Bane.
They have Bane,
So
right?
they
That's
got
one of their two centers. Is technically
If he's
Al
going to wear that
Horford.
mask the whole time, then
right?
I'm
Al
not
Horford
worried
and
about
Bane.
it.
Another quick thing about the trade. That 7-Eleven's back. You fucking took that away from me. I hate you forever. The Red Sox are rolling still. This has been the
What about
easiest.
Doug Fister?
Yeah, that fucking guy, huh?
Yeah. What a
Well,
great
that-
last name, by
it
the way.
really
They
is.
threw at
I barely
Devers
know
last
her.
night,
Through Devers, of course. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
and what's his name's on the mound tonight?
Chris Sale.
There's
You think
one
he takes
bad
somebody
thing,
out?
though.
You think he gets
Maybe.
one back?
Maybe,
Beans, whoever the fuck.
In, like,
who's
the
who's
seventh.
the stud player on Cleveland, like offensively?
Edwin Encarnacion, right?
No, I thought he. Oh no, he is
Yeah.
with them. Sorry,
He's
yeah,
probably-
okay.
he's
So
probably the
maybe
best
him.
player.
I haven't really heard much about him.
He
so.
is there, right?
I think.
Yeah, I think he
Encarnacion,
signed with.
yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
signed.
There's
with Cleveland.
there's one bad thing though, and that's JBJ's on the DL.
Yeah.
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 Is Justin
I
Pedroia
mean,
back?
what's-
Is he back? From
No,
I
I
don't
think
think
he's
so.
back on the deal.
back on.
He's
yeah.
back on it again.
The team has been playing well.
I mean, the
though.
Yankees got into a fist fight today.
That's great.
That means
Let them melt
I
down.
heard Sanchez threw a big haymaker and cold cocked. What's his name?
the judge tried
the
to swing at
wife
someone 3
beater.
times and missed. So
Really?
That was a strikeout joke.
Motherfucker, you got me good. I didn't see the fight. So
No, I guess it was
reason to believe that.
Melky in a pitcher. I guess
Yeah.
the pitcher threw behind Melky,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. Somebody said that they threw the pitcher out
Yeah.
because I guess what the hell is it? Madden or not Madden? Who's the
Madden curse.
No. Who's the
Well, you
manager?
see this guy here.
The manager
threw behind.
The manager
Joe
of
Madden?
Joe. No. Of the Yankees.
Oh,
Girardi came out, got thrown out. Then I guess the other, I guess they brought in Chamberlain. Chamberlain threw at Melky.
Yeah.
Not Melky. I keep saying Melky. Fucking Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, yeah.
And, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then I guess,
ensued.
what?
You said then chaos and
Yeah, I guess I heard like the bench is cleared, but I also heard like most people come out of the dugout, they like try to, or out of the what is it, the bullpen, they kind of just jog.
Oh,
They don't,
I heard that they came
I heard
running.
they came balling out of there.
Yeah. There's a funny tweet about that where it says it's so funny seeing the guys come sprinting out of the bullpens. They're like, "Hey, we don't bat, and they're not going to be able to throw at us." So they were like, "We're getting in on this one."
And then I heard Judge like kind of had like that bit. I mean, how massive he is.
Right.
They were like, he just walks up to people, puts his hands on them, and most people just stop.
Right. Yeah. Hey,
they were like,
hey guys,
"All right,
break it up."
yeah, break it up."
Yeah, that's it.
And it's
Flooding
like
the Red Sea there. Yes, that's good. I mean,
Sanchez is going to get suspended. It's
good.
Which is good for the
keep driving
Sox
driving that train back.
and the Yankees lost.
Good. Even
So-
better. Double.
And what's his name?
Sox pitching looks like it's come on.
Finally,
If Doug Fister, I don't even know her, is going to give you complete games.
Fister?
Yeah.
I don't even know her.
That's great. And those are the ones where you're just like, yeah,
Complete
things are-
game one hitter.
Right. Those are the times where you're just like, yeah,
Or-
the stars are aligned.
or,
You know what I mean? Like, things are good right now.
or Hill yesterday,
yeah.
throwing a fucking no hitter into the 10th, gives up a home run.
Oh, God.
Dodgers pitcher.
Oh,
he was a former Red Sox.
Yeah.
He pitched perfect into the 9th. His third baseman had an
unreal.
error, pitched into the 10th with a no hitter, gave up a game-losing home run.
Yeah.
The walk-off home run, still pitched only 98 pitches
Damn.
Crazy.
into 10 innings.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So,
Did you see when Devers turned the triple play?
God, how good is he?
Devers is the real fucking deal.
He's 20.
But whoever it was that was pitching on that night.
Aren't you so
wound
happy
up-
you didn't trade him away?
Yeah, really, yeah. I think it might have been Porcello that night. I can't remember, but whoever had the triple play.
Porcello
They
played
got-
really well, pitched really well too.
He got like 11 outs in 17 pitches or something like that. It was something crazy. Like within,
Porcello?
like, yeah. Whoever was
I
pitching
think it
for
was
the Sox.
Porcello because he did just pitch really well, so
Yeah.
it's probably him.
It was something weird, or seven outs
He's
in
not a
11 pitches or
strikeout
something.
guy, so
No.
that would
It was
sounds
like
that
contact,
sounds like it would be a
contact.
Porcello stat.
Right. Yeah, I think it was 7 outs in 11 pitches.
He's not a strikeout guy. He's a like ground ball guy.
Right.
So
It's all contact.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, can you imagine that? 7 outs, you're two and a third down, 11 pitches.
Yeah.
That's half of a mediocre inning. You know what I mean? Like,
Also think about the beginning of the season. All we were worried about is the fucking canoe that played third base.
right.
And now we have this young kid, and he's not like he doesn't look like he's running no fucking marathon.
Yeah,
the guy is not thin,
Right.
But
He's
he's
no
playing his
triathlete.
ass off.
Yeah. Right. No,
He's a baller.
He's
dude.
just playing.
so good. He's so good.
He hit off. I watched him last Friday. Hit off of what was his name? Who's the guy that throws?
Oh, Chapman.
Chapman.
Yeah.
Dude, he kills Chapman.
He kills him. Lefty.
Yeah.
He fucking just rakes on
Dude,
him.
Aroldis-
Can't get him out.
Chapman
He's
has
falling apart.
he has no answer for Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
He's pitching in the 6th inning today.
That's
That
crazy.
man is falling apart. That's how far he's falling.
I wanted Chapman when the Yankees signed him. I was like, oh, damn it.
I don't want to get
Think
anywhere
about
near him.
about this Red Sox.
Why
team.
not? Going into the season, why wouldn't you? He was a fucking total bullpen burner.
He's on my list. There's
Aroldis
a reason
Chapman's
why.
on your list?
Oh, he's on my list.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You spend a lot of time reading about people's personal life.
Oh,
You
my
know
God,
that?
yeah.
Like, a lot of, it's just like, yeah, here we go. And let the list roll. All right. So, yeah, the
Think
Red Sox
about this Red Sox team. Just a young, like,
Are they going to win the championship this year?
I don't know. It's going to be tough. The Dodgers are,
Dodgers are really good.
yeah.
And then
They're
Houston
the
was really good,
favorite
too.
to win.
Right.
I don't think The Cubs are going to be that
I have to
good
see the
at
pitching.
end.
I have to see the pitching in the playoffs
Of course, yeah.
Lester has fallen apart this year.
for the Red Sox. I mean, I have to see their pitching
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
'cause-
that's kind of what we talked about
Well,
last week.
yeah.
Like, it's sort
That's
of the
their
same,
whole
yeah.
thing.
Right. Yeah,
but
I know.
I think you got your outfield is all young studs.
Right. Benintendi,
You got
Bradley.
now. You got 2/3 of your infield.
Right.
Bogarts and Devers,
Right.
young studs.
Yeah.
You got a young stud behind the plate.
Christian Vasquez.
I mean,
Right. Their pitching staff is solid.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
So-
signed for a while.
Yeah, right.
Back, you know what? Right, I do not want to hear anything about the luxury tax. Pay that fucker.
Right.
You already have like the highest ticket prices in baseball.
Right.
Pay the fucking luxury tax. If you let one of these young guys go because you're not willing to pay them,
Right.
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna flip my lid.
pissed.
Now, would
Back up the Brinks truck in
Yeah.
Boston.
Right. Especially
You
for
got
like
enough
bets.
money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're gonna keep charging me fucking $500 for tickets and
Yeah.
$13 for a beer,
Right.
you better be putting this money into these guys' pockets and keeping them there.
Right.
Sale through 3 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So the pitching
7-1. So much for that pitching we were
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talking about.
Oh, he's human.
He's sailing.
kind of
It was-
touches down every now and then.
Yeah, but that's twice now in like three
Yeah,
three
or four
starts, I think.
something like that. Yeah, 2 out of 4, I think. But I mean,
What do you? I was as soon as
I'm not really worried about
my
that.
thing is if
Indians
I
are a
still
good team,
I
too.
still think if you can somehow convince a team like the Dodgers, not the Dodgers because you're not going to get that fucking sweetheart deal again, but if you can convince a team to take like Pedroia and Price
This is such a pipe dream.
for somebody like even for like
Kershaw or
no, you can't get that. But like, if you could get something from somebody like just a good young pitcher,
right.
I'd take that deal in a heartbeat.
Of course, yeah, I would too. Yeah,
And then you can find a fucking second baseman.
yeah, you have one, Eduardo Nunez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a utility infielder for a reason,
Yeah, it could be like the whole kind of Brock Holt thing we saw where
which he's playing left
Platoon.
field today.
so you platoon those fucking guys. You have them go back and
you
forth.
know, he's good for short stints, but if you
Yeah.
try and have him for a whole season, his
But
words
that's-
start to show.
What if you go Eduardo Nunez,
Which
Brock
is
Holt,
so
Eduardo
weird
Nunez,
to me.
Brock Holt,
Brock
Eduardo
Holt
Nunez,
can
Brock Holt.
Brock Holt can go months
Right,
playing different positions
right.
and
it's
play
like say,
good.
like, hey, you're starting
But
at third.
if you go, you're playing one position this whole month. He's like, I can't do it. You
yeah,
can't
right.
do it.
Yeah, he totally panics. That's it for the Red Sox. The Patriots. We got another preseason game coming up.
Yeah, Hightower's off the pup
Off
list.
the pup list. Gillisley traveled with the team. He's expected to
Gillisley
play.
is back at practice.
Gillisley watch. So we're on the Mike Gillisley.
He was
watch
on
right
the sideline.
Although-
now. Solder's not playing in the game.
Well, did we talk about Pat's preseason game last?
No, we did
No,
not
no,
talk
it was
about the
a-
Texans.
No,
Texans was the most recent game.
Rex Burkhead looked really good.
really, really good.
Although I think this is why I take literally no stock in preseason, like zero.
Yeah,
They lost to the Texans and the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Two teams I don't think they are actually going to lose to.
yeah, I don't care.
Their defense looked like shit in both of them.
Yeah, very vanilla. They
Yeah.
don't actually.
They don't
coach
actually
up that
scheme
situation.
or
Right,
anything.
Right. Belichick
There was-
did not challenge a call.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was very obviously in his favor, and he's like, whatever.
The Rex Burkhead, when he scored the touchdown, that drive,
Mm-hmm.
like to me, it was very obvious that Bill went, let's see what we got in Burkhead.
Right,
Because every single play except for
Right.
one went to
Right.
Rex Burkhead on that drive.
right.
One went to Danny Amendola, one pass.
Right.
Other than that, every single pass and run was to Rex Burkhead.
Yep. And they moved the ball efficiently.
I honestly think they just went, I don't
run him out
care
there. Right.
what happens.
Right.
Just let's see what we got in Burkhead.
It's like the Miami game, or a couple years ago when they punted the Miami game. And
Yeah.
it was like, hey, we're going to run until we can run for a first down.
Yeah.
And they just didn't throw the ball for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that game pissed me off because they
No, I
took
know.
clinched
Yeah,
home field
right.
advantage.
No, I know, yeah. But it's the same.
And he was like,
same
no, I
process.
didn't coach any. No, you did.
No, you did. No, you did.
You
Yeah.
did.
Bold prediction: Burkhead more catches than Hogan.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Throwing it down.
You wanna
When
throw
did
it-
Chris Hogan end up on the list?
I don't know.
He's not on the list.
I think
No,
you're full of
he's
shit.
not on
He
the
is
list.
on some sort
He's
of
on-
weird
he's on,
list.
Yeah, he's on like the
He might
all-right
not
list.
No,
actually
I
be
just
on the
think that
list.
they're just not going to use him that much.
He might not
To be
actually-
honest, that's just
Chris
what I
Hogan?
think. Yeah, I think genuinely, fucking what's his name is that much of a moron not to use him.
He might not actually be on the list, but he's like
love
in
him. They
parentheses
use
at the
him. They love
top,
him.
like just like
Right.
names to consider.
Right, like with an
Chris
asterisk, like with a
Hogan,
question mark.
because
Not at all. I don't
But they-
dislike him.
But
at
they
all.
love him there.
No, I don't
No,
think
they signed him to a 2-year contract. Which
Okay,
they don't
and then they went out
typically do
and traded a first-round pick
because
for
it
a wide
gave us an
receiver.
opportunity to get better.
They went out and got
Isaiah
a wide
Thomas- okay,
receiver that's
so
a
do you think
burner
this-
just like he is.
So do you think the Celtics didn't? No, Chris Hogan's not just a burner. He's a big body receiver. He's an actual wideout.
I honestly don't think the Brandon Cooks thing was about Chris Hogan,
No,
though.
I
didn't think it was about Cooks.
I think it was more about Julian Edelman and keeping Edelman honest with how much money he wanted
Right.
by saying, like, we also just invested a lot of trade capital in this guy.
I think it was an opportunity to get a really, really good player, the same way that like trading Isaiah Thomas in a first-round pick for a player that makes you better. You do that. You're in business of getting better all the time, and Brandon Cooks makes that.
Also,
Patriots team
Hogan
better.
might look even better in a more limited role, specifically asked to do certain things as opposed to always being on the field.
I just knew you guys would both freak out about it.
I
I had to
because-
throw it
because
out
you're
there because they made him look really good in the preseason.
I would not be
Who,
surprised.
Hogan or Burkhead?
Burkhead.
Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah.
I would not be surprised if Burkhead is the best running back on the team.
I don't think you're wrong. As in, like he might get more touches
All
than anybody
purpose.
else.
I would not be
more
surprised if he
touches?
led the team in all-purpose yards.
Burkhead.
Yeah,
all-purpose. No,
all-purpose led running backs. I'm sorry, led the running backs in all-purpose yards.
maybe.
I still think James White exists.
Rushing, I'm
See, I
would
think-
not be shocked if Rex Burkhead is, especially if Gillislee's hamstring gives out, if like it has been bothering him.
Mm-hmm.
If Rex Burkhead is your first down, second down running back, also used sometimes on third down,
Agreed.
and then James White would be the pass catching.
I think White's
going
going to get like one handoff a game
He's not going to.
and like 3 catches. That's
Burkhead's
about
going to
it.
have. I don't know. They'll
You think
use
he's going to
James
have 4
White.
plays? He's going to
No,
have
They're
he's
gonna
going to be
use
on the.
James
He's going to be
White.
on. He's going to be on the field.
Did you hear the
Yeah,
story
Don't
that
worry,
they-
he's going to be on the field. I just don't think they're going to
Okay.
use him as much.
Bill Belichick's not going to have a depth chart. Doesn't exist.
I believe it.
Like
That's
every other NFL team has a depth chart.
right.
Like I don't. Have you guys been watching Hard Knocks at all?
No,
So-
I've heard about this.
They
though.
show Dirk Cutter all the time. Like he has like a big flat screen TV that you
Right.
can like touch, like
Yeah.
a touch screen
Like they use on ESPN.
in his office, and they show him all the time, like sitting in front of it and like moving his depth chart around, like
Right.
constantly. Belichick's just like, nah, I don't got one of those.
Right.
Don't.
That's
No,
like,
he
that's
just
like
doesn't
Brad
want-
Stevens saying that they're a bunch of positionless players now. Like we're not going to play
Yeah.
a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center.
And I
we got,
think
we
it
got
makes
bigs, we got littles. Like that's it. Like
it makes sense
Right.
for the Pats,
Right.
especially for the Pats, where
Right.
they have so many skill position players.
right. Gronk plays
just-
wide out almost as much as he plays tight end.
Yeah, you
know what I
just
mean? Like he
play
plays off the line.
who fits
Right.
in what you want to do.
And Belichick's a big fan of having safeties that can play almost like a
Linebackers.
sub-package linebacker.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Same
So
with
he-
defensive linemen.
That's what I'm saying. He likes the guy that's just
Total
like,
versatile.
hey,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
he's tweener. He can do both, kinda.
Hey, I'm a defensive tackle who can also play defensive end and sometimes even drop into coverage.
Right.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
sign him up.
Right, exactly.
Sign him up.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Pats game. That's interesting to watch. I also think that Burkhead got a ton of affection that week because there was
Also, do you
Gillislee.
think Deion Lewis has been getting a lot of shine in the preseason? You still think they're showcasing him? Or do you think he's actually
be.
going to be on the team?
Could be. I don't know. If he's on the team, I'm really, really curious.
I
About
forgot how
cut.
they changed the cut down thing, so it's like a 1 week.
Yeah, you just have to do it before this. It's like whatever
You
day
can
before
carry
the
like
season.
96
Yeah, it's
players
not-
up
Yeah,
until
all the way
yeah.
up until you get 53.
It's
Yeah.
literally not.
There's-
Week 1, you have to be at 75.
Yeah,
week
right.
2, you have to be at
It's
70.
just-
week
It's
3,
just 53.
Yeah.
And then, right.
you get
So-
to the end of the preseason to figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm really intrigued by that. Probably more so than any other season, just because I feel like they've, like you said, so many skill position players. Where do
I
they all
think
fit?
the Hollister
Where do they all
brothers and like Carr, if they can somehow convince another team not to sign them, they're gonna like stow them away
Hey,
on their fucking
guys.
on their practice
League
squad.
memo, just don't sign these guys.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm trying to convince you guys
I
not to
think
sign.
the Hollister brothers will end up on the practice squad.
I think Carr will be signed by the Jets.
I don't know if they even cut Carr.
Do you know what I heard? A little teaser I've heard. It's a high possibility the Jets are going to try to make a move on Garoppolo.
Garoppolo, yeah.
I keep hearing that.
I
heard
don't
that
think there's any chance. I think you have a better
Not
chance.
this year, maybe. At the end of the season.
Oh, when
Next
he's
season.
a free agent?
Next season. You do whatever you have to do to keep him on the team and then trade him.
No.
They might just.
I
They're
would
like,
have. I would have gone like, oh, he could end up on the Jets next year if he
we let
becomes
him
a
go.
free agent.
Right.
I don't think there's any way in hell
Bill
Belichick trades to the Jets.
If he does, he retires that year.
He's not going
I
to,
don't think he'll deal with them.
especially a quarterback who could have such an impact on, especially a quarterback who could have such an impact on a team to trade him to a in-division rival.
Oh no! But if
Especially to a team, the only team in the NFL he's never made a trade with.
Right.
yeah, okay, so his only trade to them, and he fleaces them for like 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, but if
You'd
you
have to-
get
you'd
3
have-
first-round picks, is that still worth having to play? What if Garoppolo is the second coming?
Right. Yeah.
Is that worth having to play him in division? Two games a year plus.
Yes, I agree with you, but I also disagree because they still have a third quarterback on the
Like,
team. If they didn't think that kid also could be a good quarterback, they wouldn't.
Doesn't look like a good quarterback right now.
No,
He's had a rough preseason.
okay, but Garoppolo hasn't fucking blown me away either.
I don't know how people keep saying that. You're not the only one to say
Garoppolo
that.
has looked,
He's looked so good.
dude. He's looked like a starting quarterback.
All right, I'm just saying.
Kevin said the same thing to me, and I was like, "What are you watching?" The guy's like 68% completion percentage. He's got almost 280 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. I think
It's a
in 4
preseason.
quarters
He
of
should
play.
be throwing like 75%.
That's the thing. I think
He
people
threw 70
honestly
he threw
think.
75% in his first game.
I think
So
yeah. I
it's
honestly
like-
think people think he should be like
Torture.
10 of 10 for
Right.
1,000 yards and
Right.
4 or 5 touchdowns.
It's
Why
like you
not?
watch Tom Brady
Let's
and then you
do
watch
it.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Of course, there's a down tick. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, but we're talking
holy
about
shit,
the second
like-
coming. We need to have like Belichick, Brady-esque.
Right? Yeah. You think Brady looked that good in preseason?
I'm sure he didn't.
Yeah.
I do have a question about this though. So this is not Patriots or New England sports related at all. This is actually has to do with one of the worst teams in the NFL. The Browns
Yeah.
have Brock Osweiler. They
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, we're gonna play Brock Osweiler. We're gonna start him."
Yep.
He was awful. He's been awful all preseason.
Yeah.
They were playing that rookie kid.
Yeah.
Someone posted on Facebook the other day, they're like, obviously Kaiser needs to start. He was like 8 of 13 for 75 yards and a touchdown, I think. And he had like 20 or 30 rushing yards too. And they're like, it can't be Brock. And I looked, and right under Kaiser, Cody Kessler, who was their starting quarterback last year.
Right.
7 of 7 for like 60 yards.
Right.
No touchdowns, no interceptions. I was like, why are we just throwing
Just
this kid out?
Just ignoring Cody
Yeah,
Kessler.
like why?
I think it's because
he wasn't awful last
because he's
year.
the new toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Who's the kid?
Who cares
and
that I
now,
really
and
enjoy
now
this
for
one?
the third game, the Browns are going to start Deshaun Kaiser. Just like, why are you giving up on this Cody Kessler kid already? Like
Well,
that's such a
game
Browns
4,
move.
Game 4 will be Kessler's saving grace, I think, because that's where
Game-
Kaiser won't play.
Yeah, but usually Game 4 is where you play nothing but backups.
That's what I'm saying. So then Kessler will play, and I think that's the opportunity for him to say they're like, well, through 4 games, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Like
an
I don't
opportunity.
understand why
Who's the kid in Houston? They got
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
No,
he lost.
Who's
that.
the other kid?
Tom Savage?
He's won the battle. From what I've heard, he's the guy they're going to
Yeah,
go with.
Tom Savage won his, and Trevor Siemian won his.
Which both those guys played for their team last year.
Right.
You got to figure out what you have. Mm-hmm. You can't just move on just because you got a new fucking player.
Yeah.
Unless he is the second coming.
Right.
You don't fucking move
Cody
on.
Kessler,
from
I think, was like a 63% passer. He had
Clipboard Jesus, right? Oh, that's Charlie Whitehurst.
Yeah,
Charlie
Cody
Whitehurst.
Kessler he's a second year pro. I mean, second year player.
Yeah.
This will be his second year.
That's crazy.
He was a 63% passer. He only had like 6 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but he also played for the Browns.
Right.
So
Not much there for you. So we'll see. Who do we got? The Lions this week?
Yes.
Detroit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
how much does Brady play?
A half.
A half.
Yeah. Like.
I'm so excited to watch Tom Brady play football. Like
Yeah.
real, like
Real
not
football.
preseason.
Yeah,
Like
in
I want
like
to
2
watch.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Like for some reason, I have this feeling about this year. Just like
Who's week 1?
Kansas City
Kansas City. Oh, God.
in New England Thursday night.
Last time we opened up against Kansas City in New England.
That wasn't
I
an
don't-
opening game, was it?
Oh, it was.
No,
It
Yeah.
was.
that was week 4.
No, it was
No.
opening week.
When they got blown out?
No, we're talking about when Tom Brady got blown out.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you were talking about when.
About 08, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No, yeah. The Tom
Oh
Brady
wait, where you
Flip
still
game.
went 11-5 and didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't even want to say it. They could do the same exact thing with Garoppolo at quarterback.
No,
But they would make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, because their division.
because there's no one in the
division
East.
is
Oh my
horrible.
God.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
They could go 7-9 and probably
With
win
their
the division.
That's probably true. All right, let's move on.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I don't want to burn a ton of time on this.
We
But
need
let's
to
just
do a
get-
special one-time segment for like the biggest cultural event going on in the
Exactly.
world right now.
I'm going to go round robin. Aaron, you start. Then it goes Joe, then me. Who wins the fight and why?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who wins the fight?
And why?
Okay, so Mayweather wins the fight
Yep.
and runs like a little bitch.
Okay.
That's how he wins the fight.
Check. Who wins the fight and why?
McGregor wins a few rounds in the start of the fight. Then Mayweather downloads that info, wins the fight. 12-round decision.
Downloads that info?
Yeah, he downloads that weird kind of... Connor's... Just listen to me here. Conor McGregor's going to come out,
Yeah.
and you guys... Everyone knows how a normal boxer stands, kind of like hands in front,
Yeah.
like little staggered stance. Conor McGregor's going to come out like fucking Bruce Lee.
Right.
He's going to stand completely sideways. He's going to have one hand back here
Yeah.
and one hand in front. And fucking Mayweather's going to be like, the fuck is this?
Right.
And McGregor's going to land shots. And you're going to watch you're going to be sitting there around your TV and you're going to be like, I think McGregor might have won that round.
There's a prop bet of, I think it's plus 900. Does McGregor land a punch in the first round?
I would take that bet.
I would take that bet. It's 900 if he doesn't land a punch.
Oh.
It's like minus 300 if he does.
Oh,
You know
well,
what I mean?
yeah.
But
He's going to land a punch. I
kind of made me think.
I think
was
you're gonna
like,
watch.
I don't know.
I think you're gonna watch the fight, and you're gonna for the first couple of rounds, you're gonna be like, I think I might give that round to McGregor.
Yeah,
Like
because
that
he'll be
was-
the aggressor.
that was closer than I thought. And then eventually Floyd's gonna be like, oh, he's disguising that left hook with his hand. All right, and 12 rounds later, I won.
Right? Yeah.
If we see a knockout though, McGregor knocked his head off.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way Mayweather knocks him
What do you
out.
think about Mayweather agreeing to
May-
use the lighter gloves?
That
was
I mean,
weird.
it's not that it is a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's 8 ounces versus 10.
Right.
It's only 2.
Right.
But he also
20%.
he also is shrinking the glove a little bit.
Yeah.
And padding wise,
Yeah.
Mayweather's hands are glass. He breaks them almost every fight.
He'll break
if
his
he
hand.
if he
will break
tries
his
to
hands.
throw, he's going to break his hands.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
And
Yeah, right.
But here's the thing: most boxers will tell you, yeah, it sucks. Like that first round that your hand's broken, it's fucking shitty.
Right.
But eventually your hand goes numb.
Well, no, I mean-
you can fucking get through it.
That was my point about the glove change. Is that's
It
going to
opens
expose
up.
Mayweather
Oh, yeah.
to soft
Oh,
hands,
yeah.
right.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
McGregor
And-
knows he. I don't like. I think McGregor during the press conference is like, "Oh, you got brittle hands. You got brittle
Right, yeah,
hands."
right, right.
Like, he knows that.
you just go-
Mayweather breaks his hands all the time.
Do you just go old school style? Just lead.
punch him in the hands?
No, lead with your face. Let let him try to throw at you and just hit him as hard as you can.
I'm telling you, if you
When he
watch
opens
that,
up.
if you watch that video that came out of Conor sparring that other Paulie Malignaggi, the like,
This one?
no,
No, that's him. That's just how he does
was
that
his
before.
warm-up
He
thing.
does that for the
Talk about-
UFC
talk
too.
about
He
this-
just likes to
about
warm
this one?
himself up like that.
the one where he's actually boxing, not the
where
one
it looks
where
like
he's
an octopus? Or
doing the weird
This
wacky waving arm flailing inflatable two-man thing. The one where he's
fuck is a
actually
two-man?
boxing. Paulie
Two-man.
Malignaggi was a 2-time champion,
Yeah.
and he lands this left on Malignaggi, McGregor, that you could. Malignaggi doesn't go down, but you could see him go back and go. His head literally goes back, and he's like, "Ow!" Like that fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
If he lands that, like if he lands some of those on Mayweather, like clean,
Yeah. Mayweather
That's-
could be in some trouble. I don't disagree with that.
early. It has to be early. I think the later the fight goes on, the worse chance Conor McGregor has.
I think Mayweather wins.
Although
by-
that was supposedly in round 12 when he landed that. So
pretty good. He's also not the greatest defensive boxer of all time, but
Malignaggi. But he is a 2-time champion.
he
but
is
he
a
was
legit
coming
boxer,
off.
right?
He was coming off a flight, and there was some other drama going. But
I will say Mayweather wins by TKO in the 9th round.
you think he's going to knock him out?
I think he's going to knock him down enough. I don't know if McGregor will stay down, but I think the ref will stop.
You
the
think
fight.
he's just going to be exhausted?
Yeah. So I said
See, everybody
ninth,
keeps saying
10th
that
round.
he's going to get tired. I know it's
And
not the comparable, but McGregor has done how many 5-round fights?
Right,
He's done 2 with.
5 minutes each. Right.
But they're 5 minutes each.
Right.
A round in boxing's like 3.
Well, he's done. He didn't do. He only did 1 5-round fight with Diaz.
But my point is, he trains for 5-round fights,
And he
at
did.
5 minutes long.
He did. This last Nate Diaz fight was a 5-round decision.
Right.
Yeah,
And I know everyone's like, "Oh, well, they're only 5. They're 5-minute rounds.
5 minutes. Yeah.
And boxing are 3-minute rounds."
Is 12-minute 3 or 12 3-round minutes? Yeah.
I'm sorry, but MMA takes a lot more out of you than boxing does. It have you ever wrestled with someone? That shit is
It's exhausting.
way more exhausting than standing and throwing punches.
I think there's a certain level.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain level of mental frustration in boxing, or mental exhaustion too, when you're trying to hit someone you can't. You know what I mean? Because there's a constant,
getting frustrated,
and that wears on. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying.
but like to
Fucking thing, this
physically
fucking guy.
try and hold someone in
Yeah,
a certain
wrestling is
spot in
not-
wrestling,
Right.
yeah. But if you ever
that
stood,
is exhausting.
yeah, but I've wrestled, so that if I compare like that to like just standing in front of a heavy bag, and now me throwing as hard as I can at that heavy bag
Right.
for 10 minutes.
Well, you wrestled, so you're also more comfortable with it.
No, that's what I'm
body's
saying.
used to it. Yeah.
Then you all of a sudden now all you're doing is just throwing.
Right.
That's all you're doing.
Right.
If you just stand there and throw at a heavy bag for 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're throwing even 75% full
Right.
power shots, you exhaust yourself quick. Not comparing myself
No, but there's
physically
also-
at all to McGregor.
Also,
used
yeah,
to- I
but you're
used to
also
do that.
standing in front of a heavy bag
I
for
used
a
to do that.
continuous amount of time,
Right.
just throwing.
That's the point I was gonna make. That if you like walk around like a boxing, like if you kind of walk around like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
if you
like,
watch
kind of
boxing,
move,
it's
and
like
you know what I mean? Like, it's not-
3 or 4 shots in a row, and then they'll stop and they'll move around. Then
that's
3 or
15
4
seconds
shots in a
now.
row.
And then
The
then you
guy-
stop for a minute, and
Then
then
and they still get breaks, so it's not like he's
the
just,
guy. If I want to see a fight with, if you want to see a guy try to point box Mayweather, the one guy in MMA that I would put him up against, Nick Diaz,
the other brother.
Nate's brother,
Yeah.
that recently lost to McGregor. If you watch his training when he sits there and he's hitting a bag,
yeah.
that motherfucker can throw for 30 minutes straight, nonstop, just throwing.
crazy.
Now, granted, it's not. He's not knocking you out with those punches, but he's hitting that fucking bag
Right.
for like 20 minutes straight, just throwing. I guarantee you, if he did that to like Mayweather, it's a little bit different. Like Mayweather
Right.
wouldn't know what to do with a guy that could throw that fast, that much,
Right.
cardio wise. It would overwhelm him
It's
a little
just
bit.
so hard to hit
Right.
Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and that's going to be the thing.
I
I think that Mayweather's going to win. Not, and like I said, it's not because I don't think he's going to knock McGregor out cold. I just think that it's going to be a McGregor gets bloodied up a lot. He breaks. Like he bleeds a lot in his matches. So
Mayweather does too if he gets hit.
he does. Yeah, But he has to get hit.
Yeah.
So and the thing is Mayweather's going to hit McGregor. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to knock him out, but it's enough to break skin. Because if he just keeps
Possibly.
tagging, he could just keep
I think
tagging,
the
keep
boxing
tagging.
gloves will change that a little bit.
Yeah, but now we're playing into the game where it's
Yeah.
less padded. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's
yeah,
still
but it's
4
still-
ounces heavier than
Oh, it's still
MMA
it's still
gloves.
4 ounces, right? But now
And
you're
it's
also
padded, not just like hard pad.
and now you're 2 ounces away from Mayweather's ability to do it from before. You know what I mean? So he's still now getting 20% more strength to his punch. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's losing.
Yeah, but
or
so
he's
is
getting-
Connor, who
So it's Connor, but he's still
definitely is
also
a
4
harder
ounces
hitter.
less than what he's, or 4 ounces more than what he's used to.
But it's also, I don't think McGregor normally boxes with 8-ounce gloves.
I don't know what he does. I don't know.
Conor McGregor knocked down that dude Malignaggi with training gloves on, which are 16 ounces.
Right.
He hit him hard enough to wobble him.
Yeah. I would believe that. Yeah.
And I
I
mean,
think McGregor's fucking strong. Like, I'm not discrediting
don't
him.
downplay how much. Like Conor McGregor is significantly bigger than Floyd Mayweather.
Of course.
I mean, I know they'll weigh the same when they go to fight, but
He has so
McGregor
much
is
reach and so much
bigger.
right, yeah, right.
He is
so much
broader and
Right.
taller, and
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Mayweather has given Conor McGregor a lot of advantages. Like he could have made,
which is very odd.
Yeah.
Which is really, really odd.
he took a
because
training.
He never does
he
that.
took a training camp on short notice.
Yep.
They put the fight to August, whatever.
Yeah.
He decided to have it at 154. I think that's what they're fighting at, 154.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And normally Floyd fights at 147, and 147 is a really tough cut on Conor.
Right.
To get down, like when he fought
when he
145,
when he used to cut
he was
45.
like a skeleton, dude.
Yeah, totally different person.
But
And then to even meet him with the gloves.
And then, yeah,
that's
to
the
even
kind of stuff
drop
that
it.
Mayweather would never, ever. I think what scares me a little bit is I think he thinks this is a joke. Because
Yeah,
I think it's just sort of like, yeah, whatever.
Till he
you can
gets
have
tagged with that
whatever.
left, dude.
Right. And then that might be a problem. But I just
he
think
has
that,
gotten tagged. Like I know a lot of people say like he's
Right.
and especially like a lot of people don't talk about the Pacquiao fight. I remember watching the Pacquiao fight, and
There
there
were
is
moments, yeah.
there is a round
Yeah.
where Pacquiao catches him, and there's about 30 seconds
It was like
where
round 7 or 8 around
yeah,
there.
I think if Pacquiao doesn't have a hurt shoulder, that fight is a lot more interesting than
Right.
because he catches him with one, and you see Mayweather's like, all right,
Right.
that didn't feel good,
Yeah.
and Pacquiao moves on him, but he never ends up doing anything.
Right, of course. And then, yeah, all of a sudden you see Mayweather jumping. You know,
Yeah.
that's what he's doing, like the hopping around the ring or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, you missed your chance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you're right. I remember watching that, like, oh, shit.
Oh, he
You know,
tagged him.
Yeah,
He
right,
tagged him. He got him right there.
So that's our fight
Also,
preview.
one more little thing that's kind of funny.
Yep.
McGregor actually has better odds at beating Floyd Mayweather
Yep.
than Canelo did when he fought Floyd Mayweather,
Yeah.
which
I
is
did see that.
insane.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Canelo Alvarez is like the best boxer
Right.
in his weight class right now.
Yep.
Actually, he's fighting that Triple G kid, who's actually it's like a toss up between those two. But Conor McGregor has better odds to beat Floyd than Canelo did when he fought him.
Yeah.
And Conor's
pretty-
never fought
Vegas is
professionally.
freaking out about this.
Yeah, because if McGregor wins,
Right.
they're out.
There's a ton of money because now the line has completely come down.
Yeah.
Because so much money was put on McGregor.
Did you hear
It's a lot of shit.
some banking guy or something like that bet $880,000 on Floyd Mayweather just so he could win, I think $100,000.
That's ridiculous.
He like bet 880,000,
Right, yeah,
and the
yeah.
return is only $100,000
Right.
on top of that.
That's like that when you have to bet 900 to win 100.
Yeah.
It's like the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
fucking
it's
crazy.
like
insane.
Yeah.
just to make $100,000, he had to bet 880,000.
What do you really want to be a millionaire? Like, is that what it is? Like, I'm this close to being a millionaire, man. If I can get that extra 100,000 on the cheap, I'll make $10,000 next month. I'm a millionaire. Like, I'm right there.
Yeah.
That's
I
tough.
don't know. I don't know why he did
Just
it. but
whole life
He
savings.
did. Obviously, he must really think Mayweather's going to win, so it's an easy $100,000.
I read an article that Mayweather made a bet on something about McGregor, like in his favor.
I read an interesting thing that was like McGregor should bet through a proxy
Right.
that Mayweather wins by disqualification and then head kick him
Right.
off the bell.
Right, yeah,
Then
yeah,
just
yeah.
win all the money on the bet because
Right.
the odds are probably like
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then just be like, I head kicked your ass out
He
and I
loses
got all the money.
90% of
the purse.
His purse, yeah.
But
Of the purse, yeah.
that doesn't count any money he wins
on Vegas,
betting.
from Vegas, right.
So
That's true.
he should just go out there,
Double it up.
head kick him right in the face,
There you go.
knock him out cold.
I cashed in.
I want to see that though. Like not the
Yeah.
kick, not the
Take his
kick in the head.
10,000
I don't want to see the kick in the
Take the
head.
10% of his purse,
wanna
dump
see
it on
him.
Floyd's knocked out body, walk out of the ring with his arms doing the Vince McMahon walk, and then fucking go get to the
Doing
thing,
this walk.
cash in his bet, leave with just as much money.
To be honest though, he does that. That's another Tupac situation.
What do you think he's gonna get shot?
I think
situation.
I think Mayweather fucking has him taken out if he
I don't
fucking
think
does
so.
that.
No way.
Why? Because I think that if Conor loses 90% of his purse, it goes to Mayweather. So Mayweather like doubles his
Okay,
money.
thanks.
Yeah. Now I don't
Thanks.
gotta pay you.
Right, and I'm 50 and up.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it. All right, let's move on. All right, so we did a vote this week, social media segment.
I completely forgot about social media segment when we were going over the show notes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we have this segment and this.
I had it.
And I was
in
like,
there.
oh, yep, forgot about this when you hit the music.
I'm always thinking. We did a vote. Most of the people agree with us because I think it's the easy choice. 16 people, as opposed to 7 people, are in favor of the Kyrie Irving trade.
Wait, Kyrie Irving got traded?
Kyrie Irving got traded.
What team is he on?
No, the Boston Celtics just traded Kyrie Irving away.
Oh.
Big news.
He went to the
Breaking
Flint
news.
Tropics.
Also, yeah, in exchange for the washing machine. You cocksucker, I'll murder your family. All right, that's it, Jackie. You're out of here. What did I say?
Corn dogs, Jackie. All these people.
All right, that's it. Everyone get off the court. Also, social media-wise, I got another message from Katie Reports.
Oh.
He's okay. He got out of the $3.95 situation. And he wouldn't go into detail about what he was doing there in the street or whatever, but he says that he's out on a mission and he's just looking to get the news.
So we'll hear back from Katie
at some point.
Next time he has a report.
Yeah, he said like, "Hey, I'll be in touch or whatever. I'm out here I'm cracking stories." He said so.
He's cracking a story about a half-dead possum.
He also said to me, "Dave, I got 3 letters for you. It's FACTS, facts." I don't know. It was just a really weird conversation. Like he Facebook called me. And I was like, not even like message.
Facebook Messenger.
No, yeah,
but
Facebook
phone
message phone called me. Yeah, so
you didn't have any minutes. Cricket Wireless.
Who knows what that kind of guy? Who knows? But that's it for social media. Second, everyone likes the Kyrie trade, right? We're all in the same boat.
Yeah. The fact that we had 7 people who didn't
pees me off.
Yeah,
right. But I'm with you there.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a balk.
All right. So in the biggest Balk Talk fucking moment of the week, Aaron ruined my night one night. And he sent, or day, whatever. It ruined my night whenever you sent it to me.
I think it was like day-ish?
Day-ish.
That's when you sent the comparison shot of your naked picture with Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Oh, different. Are you talking about
different thing?
Different
thing.
Okay. And I still look better.
I think you look better. I was kind of into it.
I'm going to send mine to Lindsay, see what she thinks.
Lindsay
Vaughn.
Oh, Vaughn.
That's who took the photo.
Oh, I like that. But you know what I do hate?
This is Balk Talk, Dave.
This is Balk Talk. I'm sorry. I'm all.
I don't want to talk about Tiger Woods' unit.
His 9-iron he has in his pants.
You mean his putter?
Roger Goodell might get a fucking extension.
No, I don't even think it's a might at this point.
Oh yeah, they're talking.
It's like
5-year extension.
It's like a foregone conclusion at this point.
The worst thing ever.
No, I just think it's 5 more years of Tom Brady saying "fuck you" to Roger Goodell.
So you think he plays 5 more years?
Yeah,
I
think he plays until the day he fucking has a heart attack on the field.
I was gonna say, do you think Tom Brady outplays Goodell's commissionership? I don't even know if that's a word, but
no, was it you last week?
His reign of
who said Tom Brady when they were like, when you're out there in your 50s or 60s or whatever, and he was like, "Well, I'm not going to play that
55,
long."
Yeah. And then a part of me was like, "Do it forever."
Do it.
do it forever. Tom, do it forever, buddy.
You just have a 43-year-old Jimmy Garoppolo on the sideline, like one day, guys.
I really want to crack at this.
Bill Belichick's like 97 years old. I'm like a full Darth Vader suit on the sideline.
Do it forever. Yeah, when he said that on Kirk and Callahan, like 55. I'm not going to do it till I'm 55. And I was like, oh. Like, okay, well, I guess now we know that. Like, that sucks or whatever. But
is he the first 50-year-old to be like, fuck it?
He's not going to play till he's 50.
You know, but he does keep saying that if I get to 45 and I feel how I feel, then we'll see how I'm feeling. So if he feels like he feels now and he thinks he has 5 years, so if he gets to 45 and he feels how he feels
and
now,
then he just starts.
Means he has 5 years.
I don't think.
And then he just looks at Belichick and he's like, "Listen, let's start doing drop kicks.
I think he's
I can do those too.
Figure it out, right?
I think he's like 3 or 4 years away.
3 or 4 years away. You think he doesn't hit 45?
No, I think
45 is the mark.
I think pressure from Giselle. And it depends on how much success he has in these next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, but I don't think that ever ends for him. It's like I said on the Dave Speaks, where he says,
I think he might get to a point where he's like, all right, I think it's safe now.
Yeah,
I think the Super Bowl record is safe now.
But it's like we said on the Dave Speaks, like, what if he goes 19-0 and wins a championship? And my buddy Kevin says, yeah, he's probably going to walk away after that. Like, why wouldn't you? And I was like, don't you think that he's like, hey, why don't I go 38-0? You know what I mean? Like, why don't I do it again next year and go back-to-back undefeated seasons?
So what if he did that? What if he went 19-0, wins the Super Bowl, then he's like, I'm going to try and do it again. Third game of the year, they lose by like 1 point. He's like, all right, I retire. Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Now I'm done.
Now I'm done. That's it.
Jimmy, here you go.
Here you go. I'm done right now. Here's this
I
moment
literally
right now.
throws him a set of keys.
Just like, here
It's
you go. What's
yours.
this for? He's like, whatever. I don't know.
It's to the locker room. Just walks away.
Oh, you're going to have to find out. He's like, what?
Bill Belichick holds a press conference. Yeah, so Brady retired, so Jimmy's going to be starting next week.
Brady just walks by like, it's been real. And like, he's just got a duffel bag with the shit. Yeah, Commissioner Goodell being signed or getting an extension is the fucking worst. I despise that guy. And
it makes sense, though.
does
He makes the owner so much money.
But he doesn't.
Yeah.
The NFL makes so much money.
Yeah, but
he's
he's
a cog
getting
in a
the credit.
machine that is fucking so bulletproof.
He's getting credit for it, so...
Yeah, I mean, I know the owners think they love him, but I think you could be the commissioner and they'd be like, wow, you're making us a lot of money.
Gladly take the $40 million year salary.
I'll take half the paycheck.
Also, I think
and
our
still be
podcast would take off if I was just like the BS Nerds with Commissioner of the NFL,
Right.
Joe Policarpo.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
That would help.
Just a weekly conversation
Yeah.
with
The commish.
commissioner. Yeah, with Commissioner
no,
Josie.
no bias at all. I love the Patriots, by the way. I do a podcast about the Boston sports nerds. No bias to the Patriots at
I think
all.
you hit Tom Brady, you're suspended.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyone who sacks Tom Brady is suspended.
So you recently suspended J.J. Watt for 2/3 of his career after a hit on Tom Brady that you deemed illegal. We watched the tape. He had his head up in his chest.
Right.
Tom Brady still had the ball in his hands.
How did you come to the conclusion of what 2/3 of his career is going to be?
It's by feel, really.
I feel, yeah. Just the average DM.
How old are you now, JJ? 65? All right, you can come back.
Right,
You can come back.
Yeah.
Brittle bones. Ooh, yeah.
Suspend
You probably should retire.
Firstborn's
Go-
18 years old.
Go
Yeah.
play in the Canadian League, all right? Go talk to them.
That would be great. Like, we're here with Commissioner Josie. It's not Josie. It's Jose. And that'd be the bit every week.
Every week.
Every week. Like,
And we're joined now
NFL
again
Commissioner
for the
Josie.
17th episode in a row by Commissioner Josie.
NFL
Guys,
Commissioner Josie.
it's fucking Jose. Jesus
Jose. It's
Christ.
pretty easy.
You could call me Joe. I said this 17 episodes ago.
Josie. Okay, here we go.
All right, Josie, whatever you
welcome back.
say.
Yeah, welcome back, Josie.
That's like that, was it Jim Rome when he kept calling the court, the one
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Chrissy? Was it Chrissy?
Chris.
Chris?
It's Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, you won't call me Chris again? He's like, the hell I won't. He's like, you bet I won't, Chris. And the guy flipped the table.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
You won't call me Josie again.
You won't call me Josie one more time.
He just did.
I called Josie as Josie. Like, you won't call me Josie one more time. So that was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's kind of a tough one, but
It's
I
like
did.
a-
This
it's
is
like
like the.
seventh
You've said
person.
it about
This is like
10
the Wes Welker
times?
foot thing right here.
How
I'm
many
trying to sneak
times?
it in. Yeah, how many times I get it now? Yeah, the commissioner being extended sucks. Also, John Jones is a total dope head steroid addict.
I think John Jones might be allowed to fight again when Roger Goodell's extension is up.
That's probably true. 2/3 of his life.
What did they say? 2 years?
What are you,
2 years?
65 now, John? All right, you can come back. Oh, brittle bones. Yeah, I would retire too.
What did they say? It's 2 years?
Is it 2 years?
It's what he got popped for is an automatic 2-year suspension.
As long as
Turbinol.
he's already been like, no, it's not real.
Right.
There was something wrong with my sample.
I kind of believe him only because
there are false positives.
he had supposedly his last suspension was because he took a gas station Viagra
Masking
pill
agent?
that had shit in it, which some of those do have fucking ingredients that aren't like. It's happened before where people take supplements and then they give their supplements to USADA, who does all the testing. Like, this is all I took, and then they test those things and they find shit that's not in the ingredient, like the listed ingredients.
Right.
That's actually bad, and usually you still get suspended,
Right.
even though they're like, "Oh, you're right, you did."
Right.
But
Which is what happened to him last time.
yeah,
Right.
Here's the other thing. If you're a guy that's already been popped,
Yeah.
you're a fucking moron off the fucking out of the
I think
octagon.
I would take any supplement.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Or why wouldn't you go, hey, USADA, I'm going to take this. Is this okay?
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
The
No,
only reason I
thank
think-
you. Throw it away.
The only reason I think he might have done it unintentionally is because he put this post on Twitter that's like a picture of him in the gym or whatever.
He was blowing
And it's like...
Brock Lesnar.
No, it's like, last time I beat Daniel, he said it was only because of the steroids. What's his excuse now? And then, like, the next day, it was like, John Jones fails drug test. And then,
Yes.
but he still has that post up.
Right.
So it's like, why would you do that if
Right.
you knew
If
you were
you
going to
knew you
piss
took
hot
steroids. Yeah,
and you
right,
took
right.
steroids?
Jesus Christ.
Because maybe he's that naive.
Why would you put that post up if you knew you took steroids
Right.
and you were probably going to piss hot?
The real question is, does Brock Lesnar now fight somebody else?
No, what they do, this is what I think they should do.
Does the Brock...
Fly to Japan where there's no fucking USADA, there's no commission. Both of them should just juice to the gills. And then they should, like two giant fucking Mighty Morphin Power Ranger villains, just fucking fight in some weird
You want
basketball arena in Japan.
So you want Pride all over again.
I want two juice to the gills.
Pride had that in their contract that you can
Monst-
take whatever
yes,
you want.
I want
Sure,
John
yeah.
Jones versus
They-
Brock Lesnar. Maybe even a triple threat match with like Ubereem. Just all
Yeah.
three of them in a fucking
Enclosure?
not even in an enclosure, just a wide open basketball arena. They can get full sprinting starts and do Superman punches with like a 40-yard dash of
You ever
momentum
seen-
behind
You
him.
ever seen Brock when he did that? When he
is
just ran
intense.
full tilt at somebody and like slammed him in the. It was in.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want
so
I
you
want
see-
all of that to happen. I want John Jones to leave his feet and drop kick Brock Lesnar in the face from across a basketball.
I don't want to
That
see.
sounds intense.
I
like
just
how
want-
Michael Jordan
I want the double
did,
knockout.
like how Michael Jordan did the dunk from the foul line.
Yeah.
I want John Jones to take
In
off
the,
from the
in
foul
the
line
worst kids movie ever.
and just that was the opposite foul line. And he stretched Armstrong.
Either way.
Hey, he believed it. He had Michael Jordan's magic stuff. It's
Yeah,
a great
so
movie. Willie Bunny
Roger
was my
Goodell-
first crush.
Roger Goodell sucks. John Jones is an idiot.
And I was right. So
Juice him to the gills. Let him fight.
And that's a block.
And I was right.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
This is kind of a collaborative effort here. This, I'm not mad at it. For different reasons, we're all not mad at Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Like, that's not a...
I'm just
I don't
not,
have my
I'm-
own thing.
I'm just
or-
not mad that he's around. Like I
Right.
like that he's just
I
around.
just like that I like that he's doing well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, you go, Rob.
It's just good for you.
You know who reminds me of him a little bit? Like his perkiness and possibilities.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
Just like
Kind of, yeah,
like
yeah.
bubbly, ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, a little
I mean,
bit.
obviously different, but
Yeah, yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah, it's true. That's a very personal thing to do on a podcast where no one else knows these people.
well, he always says my
Jim,
name.
that guy, he wears those pants.
No, he always says my name when I see him. He always goes Aaron every
Right.
time I see him. So
Yeah, Jim.
if he listens, maybe he'll actually hear the call out.
He wears that shirt that time.
He wears the,
He wears the pants.
He wears the clothes every now and then.
Yeah, he has those ears. That guy.
So. Yeah, the guy with two eyes.
Yeah, that
know.
Jim.
Rob Gronkowski, I'm kind of digging the fact that there's been some hinting towards the fact that he's been working out with Brady and Guerrero and he's following the diet,
Yeah,
muscle pliability.
loosely following the diet.
Yeah, but I think he's sticking with the diet that they provided for
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean? Which is obviously much different. But the whole you can have a beer.
Yeah.
You just have to have 8
Well,
glasses of water.
reports are that he looks leaner.
Yeah, I buy it. I'm into it. I think the TB12 fucking works.
So my whole thing with Gronk was, I listened to him do this interview with Michael Rapaport. Not my joke, but where he talked about doing the diet and how during the interview, they asked him a couple times about other players, and he mentioned how jealous he is of the fact that some of the running backs on his team, like Deion Lewis and Rex Burkhead, can move laterally the way that they do. Mm-hmm. So I think he has been focusing on the muscle pliability and being
Right.
lean, like through the Guerrero system. Also, his movement.
Yeah,
And they say he seems like he played in a preseason game.
right.
He hasn't played in a preseason game
In like 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He's healthy. Like, I honestly believe this is one of the few times he's coming into the season completely 100% healthy.
Yeah.
Off the rip. Like,
Right.
no past
nothing holding it back.
things from
Right.
last season or anything like that. He is
Not hindered at
100%
all.
full Gronk
Right.
going into the season. I hope the muscle pliability holds out.
Hold up. Yeah. Because,
But-
and also, what was the story, though?
Oh yeah, during the interview, Rappaport said, "Give me a Brady story."
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like a Gronk / Brady. I'm not mad at it. Well, Gronk said,
I'm never mad at a Brady story.
yeah,
So.
during the first team meetings, Brady went to the normal ones he's supposed to go to, like the quarterback meeting, the offensive meeting, and then he went and sat in on the special teams meeting and took notes. And Gronk used this to talk. Like, I know a lot of people pay a lot of attention to what Brady will do after football.
Right.
I know some people were like, "Oh, I think he's gonna run for political office," and some people are like, "No, he's gonna open up those TV-12s, and that's what he's gonna do full time." Gronk made it sound like he thinks Brady's going to get into coaching
Really?
post his playing career, and I don't know if this is through private discussions he's had with Brady, but that's what he made it seem. He's like, I think he loves the game of football so much. He was in the special teams meetings taking notes, not on what the special teams is supposed to be doing,
But on how
but
they're
on the
being coached.
coaching.
Right.
And how the coaches were coaching up the special teams
Right.
and getting ideas for coaching. So
Wow.
maybe we see Tom Brady the coach or the GM, like
He's
a John Elway kind of role.
Heir apparent to Belichick? That'd
think-
be great
I
for
always-
me.
I always said that the next guy's got big shoes to fill if it's Tom Brady. You're
I think he
already
could do
wearing
any
the
wrong.
shoes.
Imagine that, though.
Right.
That would be shitty if Tom Brady was like this amazing fucking player, and then Michael Jordan's his career after, and just
Yeah, right,
fucking
yeah,
coaches
yeah.
them into the ground. 0-16 Lions type shit.
God, yeah.
Just
That
like,
would suck.
well, he was a good player.
And be
But
like, well, Brady can't coach Garoppolo to success. I know that.
So to keep on the Gronk train,
Yeah. What do you got?
Gronk is going to be in the new Katy Perry music video.
Oh,
That man is going to be getting close to those tittle bitties.
Wow. All right. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
He met her
get
at the
it.
Super Bowl and just said, "Let's do this."
Hey, let's figure that out.
was he talking about a video or?
No, he's going to be in a music video.
When he said
with
"Let's
her.
do this," you
let's do
sure he was
this.
talking about making a music video, or was he
No,
just
he
like?
was. No, I mean he's
Talking about getting close to
dated
those
porn
tittle bitties,
stars.
right,
He's
yeah.
Are you
he's
trying
an
to say
exciting
Katy
kind
Perry's a
of.
porn star?
Those tits say high possibility.
So now, if you have a certain size tit, you're automatically a porn star. Is
Oh,
that what
You're on
automatically.
my list.
Is
You're
that
on my
automatically?
list.
is that what you're
That's exactly what I
asserting?
said. That's exactly what I said.
You just
I'm
made.
sorry,
yeah, I think-
girls, if you have a D cup.
I think a
Have you
lot of-
seen-
You
Yeah,
have previously starred in a
obviously
pornographic.
porn star.
If you've seen
Obviously a
her
porn star.
music videos,
Yeah.
She was naked in California, girls.
I'm just saying.
I just think that you just made a lot of women's list.
I'm okay with that.
I
I'm
think
on
we
a lot
should-
of people's lists anyway.
I think we should play out the show with California girls.
My list is longer. All right, that's all I have to say.
I'm not doing that. Before we go into closing time, let's stop for clothing time. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters NE Weather Clothing Co. Or you can go to anyweatherclothingco.com. Check out the Facebook store, facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. Go in the shop. You can find exclusive B.S. Nerds merchandise there, a hat and a t-shirt as of right now, with much more to come. Also, check out the other clothes he has. He also has a retro throwback shirt. He's got something for Foxwoods now, and he also has his own brand going. Go to anyweatherclothingco.com or facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco and use the exclusive BS Nerds discount code, which is the letters B.S.N. ERDS and then the number 17. That's BS Nerds 17, and you have to capitalize the BSN. So that's capital B, capital S, capital N, ERDS 17.
It's closing time, nerds.
All right, Joe. I think
California. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we back? Okay.
we're back. We're back.
All right.
I have a feeling I know what your closing time is going to be.
Yeah, so I did a podcast and
You fucked it up.
did I?
I put out a podcast.
I put out a podcast.
Trying to get that slogan going.
Take two. Yeah, so I put out a podcast.
Nailed it.
And I would like you all to go listen.
Go check it out.
Yeah. It's, I don't know if you've heard of the show. It's Joe's Fantasy Field Goal.
Brought to you by, who was it, Nick?
By Ben.
Ben. Ben, yeah.
Ben Field Goal. Because I'm not creative enough to come up with a good last name.
It makes sense. Joe's Fantasy about field goal. Ben Field Goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Ben Field Goal is my fantasy. Joe's Fantasy Field Goal is the name. It's one word, like Madonna.
Right.
Field goal, that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
But he has a first name, Ben, so it's
Ben,
not
it's
like
just
Madonna at all.
No, it's just
But
Ben,
field goal is one word.
Ben Field Goal like Madonna.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Anyway.
Okay, so you put out a podcast.
I put out a podcast called Joe's Fantasy Field Goal where I give you 3 points because, field goal, 3 points.
Get it?
If you watch football, you nerds.
Fucking get it.
Well, I give you 3 points to help you win your fantasy league.
Big Anquan Bolden tip today.
Yep, Anquan Bolden tip.
This week. Yeah.
Some preseason spotlight.
Yep.
And the last one, I don't know if the last tip really helps you win anything. I just went over how utterly dominant my team is in my family league in the draft I just did. But I think it's good for you guys to hear what a dominant team sounds like.
Yeah.
So,
it's something to strive for.
And I did go over each pick I made and why I made it, why I thought they fit right there. So,
that's cool. Yeah.
Go listen to that.
Go check it out. Because Joe puts out a podcast.
Because I put out a podcast.
I'm going to get that slogan trending. You know what I mean?
Also, I will make a Twitter page for Ben Field Goal.
I like that a lot.
That's my Sporty McKenzie, Ben Field Goal.
Ben Field Goal.
All he does year round is fantasy football stuff.
That's it. He does one podcast a day, every day.
I can't wait to have a puppet. Ben Field Goal puppet.
Ben Field Goal puppet.
Yeah.
7 podcasts a week, one a day, each day. Ben Field Goal. What a fantasy. What a fantasy come true that Ben Field Goal is. What about you, Aaron? What do you got?
I also put out a podcast. I'm stealing.
You can't do that. It's my slogan.
We can do I put out a podcast, then we can do I also put out a podcast.
I'm going to get a black shirt that says I put out a podcast with white lettering.
Yeah.
Then Aaron's will say black shirt, I also in red lettering put out a podcast.
Yeah. That'll be it.
Like a little script, little line.
There'd be a little arrow, like also.
We would just constantly have to take pictures together.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. Mine will be I used to put out a podcast.
We kicked Dave off the show. That's what you guys. Breaking news. Dave's gone.
So what do you
We're replacing him with Ben Field Goal.
Ben Field
Goal and Katie Reports. Katie Reports going to come in.
If we ever get him off that highway.
We gotta find, and he said
we can never find him.
Yeah. I don't know. He said he's looking for the next story to crack. And
I think a big story would be that Dave's off the podcast.
That would be, you think it'd be relevant to this show. For sure.
Yeah.
But also I don't think he has to report that.
It's not. He's our world news correspondent.
Right, yeah.
Although it's not a good look that our world news correspondent's first story was about 395 in Connecticut.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that
it goes from Massachusetts to Connecticut.
You can ride it.
A mysterious man was sitting cross-legged.
Right. And then as soon as he was honked at, he said, go to hell, I'm moving.
Are you trying to insist that it was KD?
I get the feeling that it was him. That's what I asked him. I said, hey, did you make it out? He said, yeah, why? And I said, weren't you the one in traffic? He goes, oh, hell. And then just kind of left it there. And I was like,
back to you, nerds.
All right, back to you. All right, Katie. You got it.
So I put out a podcast.
He puts out
also,
a podcast. Yep.
And
what do we got coming up this
the
week?
WECP is going to be doing gonna do a little mini, like just what we actually thought of SummerSlam, whether it was worth even watching.
I'm gonna need that password.
All fucking 4 hours of it.
Did you like it?
Did I like it?
SummerSlam.
In a vacuum.
It's a rough watch.
Are you unhappy that Jinder Mahal
still has the title?
Yes. I didn't know if I was supposed to spoiler alert
you
that
you can spoil it. It's been a week.
Yeah. Well, I don't run in wrestling circles, and I don't know if that's acceptable.
By Tuesday, you knew.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if maybe it's if it's like a kind of like a regular television show where you're not supposed to just blurt shit out like that, or if it's wrestling, you can be like, nah, that dude won the championship.
If that guy doesn't know, fuck him.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
is that like by by Tuesday if you don't know the Patriots score.
Right.
You've been trying to wait for the Pats.
Yeah, it's like, what happened with the Pats on Sunday?
Like, don't say anything.
Oh yeah, they won. What are you doing? You can't say it yet. Just
right.
dude, that was on Sunday.
Dude, that's on Sunday.
What kind of Pats fan are you
Well,
if you
it's
haven't
like-
watched it by Tuesday?
Well,
Right.
I will agree. Like certain things, like Game of Thrones,
Right, no, the shows
that's
like that.
rough.
Right.
When somebody's like the next day, like, dude, you see it, and you're like, no, and they're like,
You give yourself a couple
this
days.
guy did this, and Jon Snow did this, and
I don't
he did
watch
this.
Game of Thrones.
I do.
But all I've been hearing about is some sort of spear,
Tomfoolery,
some sort of.
I don't want to get into it.
and he's not
I'm
up
behind.
to date.
I'm behind.
Oh.
So I don't want to know.
I said spear to be as vague as possible.
I mean, there's a couple spears.
I'm sure. But
So
we'll
anyway.
leave it. Yeah, so you put out a podcast.
So I put out a podcast.
Also, don't forget the tagline.
At the end, also.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be at the end.
Dot,
also.
dot.
Also. We're going to review that. We're also going to talk about, there's a report out there. There's a, they're trying, DC's trying to put out a origin story of the Joker and how much Jerry's probably at home just
Going nuts.
going
to town.
yeah, and I'm just in the other room ready to stab my ears out and eyes out because I
I want an origin story on the Penguin. And I want them to actually get a Penguin to play the Penguin.
I mean, you might as well just watch the Tim Burton Batman Returns if you want that. So
Is that Danny DeVito?
yeah, don't. No, horrible rendition.
Is that the Uma Thurman? Is it not Uma Thurman? Who played Poison Ivy?
That's Uma Thurman, but that was a completely different movie.
Oh, is it? Is that no? That's with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a different one though.
that's not the Tim Burton one.
No, Tim Burton did Batman Returns. Then there's Batman
What one is
Forever.
that? Batman Forever.
Yeah.
That's what George Clooney is Batman.
Well, there's Michael Keaton was two Batmans. He did two Batman movies.
Who
and
was
then
the
they had
Batman?
Val Kilmer. Then they had
Was it Val Kilmer? Who was the Batman in the Uma Thurman one?
that. Yeah, it's George Clooney.
Yeah.
They at least used the same Robin with Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Chris, whatever. I forgot
Alicia
his name.
Silverstone.
She's in that movie as well. Yeah, she's Batgirl.
Who's the main villain in that? Mr. Freeze.
I mean, if you watch it, it's Mr. Freeze with
Bane's in that movie too.
Bane's
and
in that
some
movie too.
weird.
Bane's physically correct, character wise, very wrong.
He has the luchador mask on.
No, that's the way he's supposed to look.
But he's got but it's so different from the Bane that they put in the last one.
Because they wanted to go more realistic. That's my other issue with that movie. But because he actually played Bane well, but physically doesn't look like Bane.
Yeah,
We're going way too far into this nerd shit. That's why you listen to fucking WECP.
Tune in next week.
You're going to listen to WECP this week. All right, so this week, Jerry and I will talk about SummerSlam. We'll talk about possible Joker movie origin. Our thoughts on who our favorite Batman characters are. His rogues gallery, and why we like them. Maybe.
Specifically Batman?
Yeah, we're going to probably do Batman this week because that just seems like, especially with Casey and Ben having their people put out statements saying that he still would love to play Batman. There's no
backing off.
There's no backing off. They're trying to backpedal off of what Casey said to our boy Keith.
Yep, current friend of the show.
Friend of the show, yeah.
Current friend of the show.
Yeah.
Former guest.
Do you have anything, Dave?
Yeah, I got two things. I too put out a podcast also.
I too put. All right.
See, that
This
works.
is now. It's getting,
and- hold on.
You know
Let's
what I
not let him walk away from this.
What's that?
Unless it's your point too.
What?
It's your fucking birthday yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm 31.
happy birthday, happy birthday, happy hey.
That's true. That is true. I wasn't going to bring that up, but I forgot all about it by now. That was a long day ago. Yeah, thank you very much. It was my birthday. Yeah. It is not anymore. So it's just back to normal.
It's not birthday week?
It's not birthday. I used to celebrate my birthday.
I do a
but now
birthday
it's
year.
Birthday year. Yeah. Just all the way until the next one. Just
September 3rd
keep
to
it
September
moving.
3rd is just...
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
I like it. No, I too put out a podcast also, and
You can't make fetch happen, Dave.
it worked. And so check that out. That's pretty good Patriots talk.
I hear you speak on this podcast.
Yeah, hashtag Dave Speaks.
Oh, okay.
that's the name of the
called?
podcast. Yeah. So you can go check
Featuring
out
Ben Field Goal.
featuring Ben Field Goal. The fantasy come true. Ben Field Goal. No, it was a good friend of mine, Kevin, actually, that he came through. We returned hashtag Dave Speaks with the new format, with the interview style thing. And of course, like I said last week, that I'll be falling in the off weeks of WECP. So check out WECP this week, and then you can look forward to a hashtag Dave Speaks the following weekend.
I listened to it and enjoyed it.
So yeah, that podcast is out. You can check that out. I will be back in 2 weeks with another one. I'm juggling guests right now, trying to find something that the time fits. I wanted to do. I have a Celtics show lined up for Celtics season preview, and then I was like, oh, maybe I could do the Kyrie trade. But now it's like, it's going to be a week and a half too late. So trying to figure out something. But I have a couple people lined up that are willing to do something. I just got to find out which one I think will fit in 2 weeks or whatever and make sense. And also, my actual closing time was... Have you guys seen Ozarks?
Yeah, I'm only on the second episode.
I'm on the third.
But that first episode comes in hot.
Comes in real hot.
Comes in
super hot.
Blazing hot.
Super duper hot.
Oh, yeah.
The body falling from the...
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, that's a spike. But that was fucking legit.
No. So I should...
It's a show on Netflix. Let me get the premise.
Yeah.
Show on Netflix starring Jason Bateman.
Serious show, though.
Serious
I know when
show.
you hear the name Jason Bateman,
You're
you
like, oh,
instantly
this is
go
a
like...
clown show. Yeah.
Party hard. No, this is...
It's like Breaking Bad with Jason fucking Bateman.
Yeah, it's Breaking Bad on Netflix.
It's really good. It's really fucking good.
It is... So the second... I lied. I'm only an episode and a half in.
Okay, yep.
And the second episode, when he's in the car
oh my God,
with his wife...
And he says that
the only thing that puts me to sleep tonight is the satisfying sound of your lover hitting the pavement.
Yeah.
I was
and
like,
then she smacks him, punches him.
Bad motherfucker.
Yeah, awesome.
Bad motherfucker, Jason Bateman.
It's a fucking really good show. I think my girlfriend and I are actually going to do a Dave Speaks when we finish it as a review of the show.
Like I said, I'm an episode and a half into it.
Yeah.
And Marina has no interest in watching the show.
Really?
Zero.
She
was also not a Breaking Bad person.
It's a slow burn early in the show.
I don't know if I like.
No, I mean
very
like 20
early.
minutes, like first 20 minutes. Slow. It's a slow.
By
burn.
the end of that first episode, you're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, crazy.
So am I going to go on like I did about Thanksgiving leftovers and just totally trash it at the end?
You probably will because I think
I've never seen.
I think that you just
leftovers.
rather piss me off than actually enjoy something on your own in your life.
I've never seen
you'd rather
Thanksgiving
make me
leftovers
mad than enjoy it.
Did you like Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Then I think
He
you'll
said
like
that
this
mellow. Like, did you hear that? That was sort of like
yeah, but to me,
it's
like
okay.
No, because
Breaking Bad
at certain
might
points
be my favorite show ever.
Yeah,
but there are seasons where I'm like, and it's the same way. I love Sons of Anarchy; it's one of my favorite shows. Mm-hmm. But I will gladly admit there are parts where you're watching it and you're like,
oh, of course,
why am I watching this dog shit? It's
right.
not doing anything for me story wise.
So that's the great thing about being only an episode and a half into the show is so far
you're still in love with it.
I haven't found anything. I was like, well, that's dumb.
Right. No, it's hot. The show stays hot.
If anything, at least watch the first episode, then maybe don't watch anything else after it. Because the first episode is like...
It's like
really
Game
hard
of
to...
Thrones. Like, you know how like Game of Thrones kind of like slow builds up, and then the first like 20 minutes of Game of Thrones, like, okay, there's this fucking family, and
they're
these
setting
fucking
stuff
people.
up.
And then all of a sudden, it's like the fucking kid gets pushed out the window, and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? He's murdered that child.
It just
like,
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, so they kind of like just blindside you. It's sort of like that, but it's like at minute like 27, at 45, and then like 53, and you're like, what the, oh my god, like, and it's just sort of like it comes in.
It literally, the first
hot.
episode's like, oh, okay, so you're just introduced to this guy, and you're like learning stuff about him, then it hits you with kind of like a bombshell that doesn't involve any kind of crazy violence, but it's kind of like, oh shit, that's who that is?
Right.
And then crazy violent shit just starts happening.
It's just happening.
It's just like, this guy's having a really rough day.
Yeah.
It couldn't get any rougher. And then it gets rougher.
Just the blind bathroom shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking crazy. The show's nuts. It's really good. So I recommend you check it out. A part of me says don't, because I know you're going to hit me next week.
No,
with like, so stupid. It's
here's the stipulation.
We loved
you check it
season
out.
1.
If you don't like
you lost
it,
me after season 2.
never bring it up. If you don't like the show,
Yeah,
I
but
don't want to know.
Yeah, but isn't that
If you do like the show, we can have an open discussion about
But isn't
it.
that what we do at the end of
No.
the episode? I kind of throw out stuff.
Yeah,
Nope.
you can,
I mean, I can use it as my
I don't know
my
if it's
Balk
a-
talk.
I don't know if that's an end of the
No.
episode thing, but that's definitely something you do at work when I'm trying to leave. Like
No.
right before
No
I
Balk
go to
talk?
leave.
Dave's on his way out the door, and I just go,
Hey, I don't. Yeah.
I don't like the leftovers. What?
And he hits me with something really random.
Like,
that noise,
why
like,
did they give the black guy the only gun in town?
Right, and I'm just like, I can't fucking deal with it.
Can't have
and
this
he'll hit me with some really stupid, like, I don't think Randy Moss is the best receiver the Patriots had in the past 10 years. I'm just like,
David Patton.
wow. David Patton? Better than Randy Moss?
Yeah, oh yeah. Best
he would hit me
receiver.
with something like David
All right,
Patton.
when did I ever say?
No, I'm saying something like that.
Oh,
and I'm just
okay.
like,
Troy Brown.
Troy Brown.
Was the best one.
In the past 10 years?
He played corner too, so that's why. Versatility. Belichick system. Belichick rating.
99 overall.
Yeah, because he could play two. Two positions.
It's true.
Offense and defense. Iron Man football.